several different arch supports and gave me the opportunity to try them in shoes and walk around with them until they found the perfect ones for my feet. I had no idea that they would be that patient, and I had no idea they would be that kind. And you just knew, like, your feet, just when they got on the right ones, they were like, oh yeah. And it really did make a big difference. It made my foot not hurt. I'm Teresa, and that's my Good Feet story.
See what we can do for you with a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
Call 552-FEET or visit us in Naples or our newest store in Fort Myers.
Got mold?
In your house?
What do I do now?
Call 239-936-1033.
Call Fire Service, your disaster response friends.
Fox News listeners, Saturday morning is the perfect time to talk boats and water fun in Southwest Florida. This is Adam Botana again from Baywater Sousa Boat Club. Join us every Saturday morning from 7 to 8 for the Baywater Boat Club Hour. We talk boats, fishing, boating hotspots, water quality, on top of Jake the Millennial and I just having fun on the radio. And if you don't have a boat, Baywater Sousa Boat Club has got you covered. Just call me, Adam, at 239-495-0455.
When the power goes out after a hurricane, many people rely on a portable generator for power.
Generate some smarts!
But remember, don't ever use a generator in the garage.
Generate some smarts!
And never store fuel in the garage. It's a fire waiting to happen.
Generate some smarts!
Always pay attention and read the operator's manual for your generator.
Generate some smarts!
This message was brought to you by the Florida Division of Emergency Management, the Florida Association of Broadcasters, and this radio station.
92.5 WFSX Estero. It's 6 o'clock on Southwest Florida's news and talk
Next
station,
up,
92.5 Fox News.
I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. That is the next summit for President Biden after the G7 gathering with world leaders in England.
I think we're in a contest, not with China per se, but a contest with autocrats, autocratic governments around the world.
Fox's Simon Owens live in London.
Dave, the president says he's going to NATO's headquarters in Brussels to state clearly America's commitment to the transatlantic military alliance. NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg
We meet at the pivotal moment for our alliance.
Says for leaders at today's summit, Russia is high on the agenda.
Our relationship with Russia is at its lowest point since the end of the Cold War.
The NATO meeting comes 2 days before President Biden meets with Russian President Vladimir Putin in Switzerland. Dave?
And Simon, both the president and Putin agree relations are at a low point. Secretary of State Antony Blinken tells Fox News Sunday.
So this is the beginning of testing the proposition about whether Russia wants a more stable, predictable relationship itself, and whether in some areas where there's mutual interest, we can find some ways to cooperate.
Blinken says the president will press Vladimir Putin on cyber attacks based in Russia, including ransomware hacks on Colonial Pipeline and a meat supplier. This hour, President Biden will meet with the leaders of Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania. After multiple elections, Israel has a new prime minister today for the first time in 12 years.
The nation's parliament voted in favor of a new coalition government to be led by far-right leader Naftali Bennett. Outgoing Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu vows he will return to power.
Fox's Ashley Strohmeyer. Bennett's new government was sworn in last night. One of the more than a dozen people wounded in a mass shooting early Saturday on a crowded Austin, Texas street has died. One suspected gunman is in custody. Police are searching for another. America's listening to Fox News.
This update is presented by Johnston Spinal Care, the leader in spinal decompression. Find them online at 596back.com.
Wink News, traffic.
Good Monday morning. We're watching a crash right now in Lehigh Acres at 4th Street West and Harold Avenue North. That's just off the intersection of Lee Boulevard and Gunnery Road. No injuries, no roadblock. Just watch out for deputies nearby. If you're heading along 75 in Charlotte County southbound, we've got some roadway debris in the center lane. So use caution right near mile marker 160. That's between Jones Loop Road and Tucker's Grade. Otherwise, a clear commute on 75. Definitely seeing a slick start, though, on our roads from some early morning overnight showers. Just take it easy and give yourself some extra time out there. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Teresa O'Shea, Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Good morning, Southwest Florida. Looking ahead to the rest of your Monday, we're going to be dodging those scattered showers and thunderstorms throughout the day. And when you factor in that extra cloud cover, high temperatures today are going to struggle to reach 90 degrees. I'm WIC News meteorologist Dylan Federico.
Drive the lefties at work crazy with the facts. Get up to speed mornings with Drew Steele.
92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
True relief for back and neck pain.
Back or neck pain is not just unpleasant, it can be debilitating, preventing you from performing your daily routine and even confining you to bed. In decades past, patients suffering from spinal issues were often just given pain medication, spinal injections, and, when they did not heal, often underwent spinal surgery. Luckily, there is now another option, non-surgical spinal decompression. At Johnson Spinal Care 596 Back, we use an advanced technology to apply a completely safe unloading force to relieve nerve compression associated with bulging herniated discs, sciatica, stenosis, scoliosis, neuropathy. This award-winning approach, safe for any age, has gained international praise from physicians for its success. Complete pain relief is achievable. Johnson Spinal Care is here to serve you. Call our Medicare-friendly office today for an immediate, no-charge telephone consultation. 596-BACK. 596-BACK. That's 596-2225.
Everyone understands that when you buy more, you should pay less. It's called a volume discount. Hi, this is Earl Ron, president of New South Window, and we would like to make and install your windows. New South offers volume discounts for homeowners. The more you buy, the more you save. Our discounts start at the fourth window, and from there, the savings grow. New South can do this because we own our factory, and that's the power of Factory Direct. Award-winning, energy-efficient windows that will save you money and protect your home. Our windows are made in Florida, for Florida homes, by Florida workers, and we guarantee them for life. Visit us at newsouthwindow.com.
When it's hot, the last thing you want is your home's AC to quit on you. At 1 Hour Air Conditioning and Heating, our team of comfort specialists take the frustration out of the equation. From simple repairs to more complex fixes, we'll get you cool and comfortable quickly. Call 855-1-HOUR for $50 off your repair, or visit onehourair.com and keep your cool. Beer.
Always on time, or you don't pay time.
Terms and conditions may apply. Independently owned and operated, licensed in their respective state or county.
Hey, we get it. You don't want to be hearing a Progressive commercial right now, so let us tell you something you do want to hear. No one is funnier than you. People laugh just thinking about the things you've said. I'm laughing at one of them right now. Coworkers repeat your jokes at the office, but they're never as good as when you tell them, and shame on them for trying. There. Don't you feel better? You'll also feel better knowing you could save when you bundle home and auto with Progressive. Although I'm sure you'd have a funnier way to say that. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Bundle discount not available in all states or situations.
People sometimes may wonder why they need a big law firm after their injury. Name one small insurance company. Couldn't think of one, could you? Didn't think so. Most insurance companies are big, really big. They have thousands of lawyers. Imagine it's a beautiful day. The sun is shining, birds singing. You're on your way to work, and then, bam, your whole life changes in that second. Forever. You're injured, and now you have to fight for justice or live your life in pain. Let me give you some straight talk. Your opponent is not the driver of the car that hit you. It's their insurance company. When you're fighting to get what you deserve, it's go big or go home. We are big for a reason, which is why we've recovered over $9 billion for our clients. Over $1 billion in one case alone. When it comes to law, size matters. We're America's largest injury law firm, Morgan & Morgan. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Looking to hire? Indeed will help you speed up the process. They have 135 skill sets to help you find the right candidates faster. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
From 92.5 Fox News.
It's the stuff Southwest Florida is talking about.
It's Daybreak. Now, here's the guy at the epicenter of what's important to those of us who live in Southwest Florida. Drew Steele.
Well, good morning, Southwest Florida. Glad you're here. 239-479-5592, the talk and text line, streaming live, drewsteele.com, Steele S3Es. We appreciate you watching, whether it is on your smartphone, smart device, or your computer. Facebook was still there right now for the time being at Drew Steele Radio. All right, a couple of things we're going to talk about this morning, including Joe Biden and the G7. It appears as if Joe Biden is just like going along with the club. You know, there's a club that they have. It's a fun club. It's like the He-Man Women Haters Club. Remember that? You can't even say that anymore. Do you even know what I'm talking about when I reference the He-Man? Look up the He-Man Women Haters Club, and you'll see what I'm talking about. It's not very PC, but then again, when you go back maybe 50, 60 years, 70 years. Maybe there were some things that weren't very PC. But anyway, so it's a club, and there's a new club, G7, and we're back. We're back in the club. You do realize that if the president of the United States is agreeing with President Macron from France and is saying that it's great to have the United States back in the club, you do understand what the club is and what they're trying to do and this great reset that the club would like to have. Oh, maybe you don't. All right, we'll play some audio. You get to hear some of the fun gaffes that Joe Biden had over the week. It's not fun at all.
Not a joke.
No, not a joke. It's the United States on the world stage. And in just a couple of days, he's going to Switzerland to go meet with Vladimir Putin. And how do you think all of that's going to go down? So we'll get to some of that. Did you look up the He-Man Women's Haters Club? Let me know, Jake, when you see it. All right, so we got that. Also, do we have a real live Jonah being eaten by a whale? Did you hear about the guy that got swallowed by a whale? That was, yeah. I mean, I guess he did. He claims that he did. I don't know how you could disprove it. It's interesting, but right? I mean, you ever think about that? If a guy is diving, unless was there somebody else around him? I got to look that story up because I've heard his voice and talking about what it was like and skin and muscles all around his body. He's like, it's like pretty gross the way he describes it and then getting spit out. But I'm just wondering if anybody else was diving for lobsters at the time, or if he was all alone, or did anybody see and go, man, there's a giant whale. Hey, something just spit. Hey, that's Al. You know, that kind of thing. Or was it just some guy in the murky waters going, man. Well, no, he ended up in the hospital. Well, maybe there's so many. Here's why I love the story and I hate the story. Before we get to Biden and the Great Reset and what that is. I love the story because it's fun. Guy gets spit out by a whale. He's in a hospital, right? He's got a picture of him with thumbs up. Everything is okay. I hate the story because, man, we live in a cynical world, right? Because what I did, kind of making fun and wondering if there were, it's like you almost have to. Because the world that we live in right now, there's so many people that want that Snapchat headline or some kind of Instagram photo or something or notoriety. And it's just, man, I feel bad for the Gen Zs and the millennials like Jake, who's surrounded by people that are like, water's pretty murky. I could tell somebody I had a battle with a shark with my fists. Nobody would know. I don't know. I hate to be so cynical. Look at you. This is not the way to start off a Monday.
I would be offended that the whale regurgitated me. What's wrong with me? Do I not taste good?
Is that the way you look at it?
That's
Like,
what I'm thinking
why
about
did the whale regurgitate him?
Was he not edible?
You know, that's one of the many questions that people might ask. Maybe the whale, maybe he was a hairy guy, and maybe it was like having a piece of hair in your soup. And you kind of like that kind of thing.
I mean,
I don't know. We've gone to a really weird place to start off the show. So could we get this train back on the track? All right, let's do that right now. 239-479-5592. I'm a little worried about Joe Biden. I'm a little bit worried about, I know people talk about senile and look, here's what I worry about. I worry that we have a president of the United States that 972 million people in the United States voted for by last count. I think they're still counting. And that I'm having a hard time believing that he is in as bad a condition as some are describing. But when you hear some of what he said over the weekend, you do get worried. But also some of the things that were pretty coherent by others about this great reset that they won't say out loud, but is really what it is. So, for example, there was one moment where Joe Biden got a little testy, doesn't like being pushed, doesn't like being questioned. He gets He's like the get off my lawn guy. He really is, right? Isn't Joe Biden, when he gets mad, man, you talk about get off my lawn. He is that guy. So G7, countries getting together. Biden takes a swipe at Donald Trump. They're all excited because everybody's back in the club again. It just feels so good. And let's start with this. He's asked a question by a reporter. He's telling them I probably shouldn't take the question because the people around him are like, listen, Joe, just say what's on the card. Don't go off the cards. Read the card. It's really simple, but he doesn't read the cards.
I'm going to get in trouble with my staff. Yeah, go ahead, but I pretend that you didn't answer you.
Very much, sir. You have often said repeatedly that America is back.
Yes.
At the same time, you've kept in place some Trump-era steel and aluminum sanctions. And I wanted to ask you, when you're having these conversations with European allies who are very concerned about these sanctions, how do you justify that? And what are your plans?
120 days. Give me a break. Need time.
Okay. First of all, the whole leaning into a microphone, 120 days.
Give me a break.
It's just like...
Need time.
He sounds like Yoda. Doesn't he sound a lot like Yoda? Isn't that what Yoda sounds like? Close your eyes unless you're driving.
Give me a break. Need time.
Right? Like if Yoda had a really thuggish kind of brother, cousin, friend, you know, whose name is like, I don't know, Vito. Like it's Yoda's cousin Vito. That's what he would sound like.
Need time.
Right? The second thing is, you got to stop doing it. He just has to. The second thing is, it says he's been in office for 120 days. He's been in office for like 145 days. There's a whole month missing there. And so there's that. And look, it happens. People forget the time. They get all excited, especially when you're angry. I mean, things happen, right? It's okay.
Give me a break.
All right, I got him. Give him a break. I'm telling you, I'm sorry. I'm picturing a little Yoda's cousin named Vito, and he's got like, his hair slicked back, and he's wearing a leather jacket. That's a weird reference. Sorry. All right. So there was that. Then there was this odd comment about. Was this the one about COVID? Hold on.
By harassing the...
Oh, no. Here's the COVID comment. So he's talking about COVID, vaccines. Somebody was asking about, worldwide, the pandemic that is no longer the pandemic. But we're going to talk about it like it's a pandemic because we have to keep people in fear because keeping people in fear means keeping people in keeping power and having power over individuals. And so being asked about that, Joe Biden's talking about how COVID, do a lot of people even know what COVID is?
COVID is, I know you all know, but a lot of people may not know what COVID is. That is a system whereby they're going to provide funding for states to be able to get access to vaccines.
All right, has to stop. Jake, do you know anybody on the planet who doesn't know what COVID is? I know you do. And he's talking to reporters, and you guys do. But there are people that don't know what COVID is.
COVID is, I know you all know, but a lot of people may not know what COVID is.
There's a lot of people that might not know what COVID is. Is there anybody on the planet that doesn't? That guy. Well, Joe. No, Anyway, and then, he starts talking about how we've got to stop with a lot of the harassing that's going on. And the people that we have to harness the full potential of those who are harassing. But he doesn't say harnessing. He says harassing the harassing.
By harassing the full potential of those who are harassing, we're going to have to try to change things. That's the whole idea.
That's the whole idea. All right. There's more, but I'll wait. So this is the President of the United States on the world stage. It's not pretty. Some might say it's almost, it appears to be something that's just not right with Joe Biden, but everybody knew it. And yet, 872 million people voted for him, certainly knowing all of this because, they just wanted to get Donald Trump out of office. Really? There is the club that was discussed. And I think this is an important reference, too, because you've got President Macron, who's sitting down with Joe Biden, saying, welcome back to the club. It's so fun, right?
And for all these issues, what we need is cooperation. And I think it's great to have the U.S. president part of the club and very willing to cooperate. And I think that what you demonstrate is that leadership is partnership. And we do appreciate, and I think we can deliver great things for that.
I think we can do a lot too.
I just got to stop. Is leadership partnership? Leadership is leadership, right? Partnership is partnership. How is leadership partnership? Leadership is you lead, and then people partner with the leader because they lead. I could be wrong. I don't know. But back in the club. So what's the club? Let's re-reminded everybody of what this club is. When you have the G7 together, you have all these countries that are looking at the global economy and everything that is happening across the globe. Oh, by the way, and there's some other embarrassing audio if you want to talk about Joe Biden and Boris Johnson, leader there in the UK, shushing Joe Biden. I'm talking about putting his hand out and almost putting it in front of his face to shush him, to stop him from talking, to the point where everybody else in the room in the G7 laughing about what Joe Biden said. Pretty embarrassing stuff. But the point is, what does this club look like? And may I remind you of a couple of things. The World Economic Forum talked about the Great Reset, the best chance to instigate stakeholder capitalism, and here's how it can be achieved. Stakeholder, not shareholder, stakeholder. Got to get rid of that shareholder mentality, the shareholder capitalism, right? And the way to do it, the World Economic Forum talked about the Great Reset and how COVID helps with this. The Great Reset has three main components. Now, this is from the World Economic Forum and their website. The first would steer the market towards fairer outcomes. To this end, governments should improve coordination, upgrade trade arrangements, and create the conditions for a stakeholder economy. At the time of diminishing tax bases and soaring public debt, governments have a powerful incentive to pursue such actions. Governments should implement long overdue reforms that promote more equitable outcomes. Equitable. You know, like taking from the rich and giving to the poor, the equitable outcomes. You know, when somebody says the equality of outcomes and you hear these words and things have to be more equitable, you have to dismiss them right on the face because there are individuals who are willing to do what they see others doing when it comes to wealth and success and the time that you have to put in. And then there are people that have no desire to do that. They just don't want to. And in a country as great as ours, that's fine. But to suggest that that person who has no desire should take or be given money from those that are trying to work hard and be more successful than that individual to whatever level is, that's wrong. The second component of a Great Reset agenda would ensure that investments advance shared goals, such as equality and sustainability. Great Reset agenda to harness the innovations of the fourth industrial revolution to support the public good, especially by addressing health and social challenges. A lot of social engineering going on. I bring all of this up because when President Macron of France talks about getting back into the club, this is the club that they're talking about. This is the club that Joe Biden during election year 2020 in June, I believe, almost a year ago to be exact, was using the same language, was talking about shareholder capitalism and getting rid of it.
And the days of Amazon paying nothing in federal income tax will be over. Let's make sure their workers have a power and the voice. It's way past time we put an end to the era of shareholder capitalism. The idea the only responsibility a corporation has is with shareholders.
Okay. Get rid of shareholder capitalism. The best chance to instigate shareholder capitalism. Stakeholder capitalism as opposed to shareholder capitalism. Joe Biden was using the language of the Great Reset back in June of 2020. People dismissed it. They didn't think about it then. but he was using the language of the global economies and what they would like to see happen. And that's a lot of what was discussed over the weekend. It's pretty striking. It's scary. Some of the things that were talked about. But we'll get into more of that coming up. If you didn't hear the audio of Boris Johnson shushing the president of the United States, literally putting his hand out close to Joe Biden to say, okay, stop talking. I'm talking. It was pretty embarrassing. We'll get to that. Also, a couple of other things that are going on. Let's see. Too fat to fly. Did the FAA issue a new airline weight guideline? Did that happen? People talked about it. No, it'll never happen. Well, so we'll get to that. Bill Maher mocks the woke liberals who believe their whiteness is a malady. Is that right? Did he do that? What exactly did he say? We have the audio there of that. More critical race theory news that is out there. Just understand that with critical race theory, you're winning. The fight is politically happening in our school districts, with our neighbors. We are talking about this. We understand what this is and is not. But there are people like Robert Reich who are trying to go out there on Twitter and create lies, flat out lies about what CRT is and is not. You need to hear it to understand what it is that they're doing. And I'll play that audio coming up as well. All right, 239-479-5592. It's Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. You can go to drewsteele.com. Steele has 3 E's if you'd like to watch. We do appreciate it. It's Daybreak, right all along.
This is 92.5 Fox News. 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
This Fox News business report is presented by Sargent's Integrated Pest Solutions Incorporated, providing organic and botanical pest control solutions since 2011.
I'm Maria Bartiromo, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Prices of Bitcoin rose sharply Sunday after Tesla CEO Elon Musk tweeted that the company would once again accept the digital assets as payment. Royal Dutch Shell is reportedly mulling its holdings in the Permian Basin, the largest oil field in the U.S., for possible sale. It reportedly could raise as much as $10 billion. Mall owner Washington Prime Group filed for Chapter 11 protection Sunday. The pandemic forced it to temporarily close some of its roughly 100 shopping centers in the U.S. An American father and son have pleaded guilty in a Tokyo court for helping former Nissan executive Carlos Ghosn escape to Lebanon in 2019. Ghosn's accused of financial misconduct. On Friday, the Dow Industrial Average gained about 13 points, closing at 34,479. And that's your business report. I'm Joe Chiro, invested in you.
Only T-Mobile for Business uses unconventional thinking to help businesses realize new possibilities, like our WFX solutions, enabled by our nationwide 5G network that help teams stay connected and productive where work happens. We also provide an award-winning customer experience and first-class benefits with every plan. Get unmatched network support and value without any trade-offs at T-Mobile.com/unconventional. Capable device required. Coverage not available in some areas. Some uses may require certain plan or feature. See T-Mobile.com.
Ever purchased an online item and either it doesn't fit, has missing parts, or became damaged? Trying to save a few bucks can end up costing more. My Shower Door is a locally owned and operated family business that measures, manufactures, and installs our own brand of frameless shower doors right here in Southwest Florida. And we were just named Lee County's Manufacturer of the Year. With almost 80,000 shower doors installed, we have the experience and expertise. Plus, estimates are always free. Want to see more? Go to myshowerdoor.com.
The top 3 reasons why you should have quartz countertops from Rock Solid.
1.
Quartz countertops are truly elegant, practical, durable, and with Rock Solid's unbelievable price and selection makes for the best overall value.
2.
Quartz countertops from Rock Solid will never stain, are maintenance-free, and carry a lifetime warranty.
3.
Here's Natalie from Naples.
Every time I look at my quartz countertops from Rock Solid, it makes my heart smile.
Rock Solid. We don't stop at just countertops.
Just your smile.
What makes Genesis of Naples the #1 selling Genesis dealer in the nation? It's our incredible selection and professional sales staff. Hi, I'm Sheila Zellers, owner of Genesis of Naples. When I drive my beautiful new 2021 Genesis GV80 around town, the first thing everyone says to me is, what is that beautiful SUV? I tell them it's the all-new first ever SUV from Genesis. Then they usually ask, how much does it cost? I know it's hard to believe, but it starts at just $49,500 and the fully equipped Prestige for just over $70,000. It has an amazing interior and breathtaking design and your choice of turbo engines and rear and all-wheel drive. But that's not all. New 2021 Genesis G70s have 0% financing and 72 months plus $1,000 cash back. And we have a huge selection of the all-new 2021 Genesis G80s and G90s. Come visit Genesis of Naples on Airport Road or genesisofnaples.com.
All offers with approved credit on select models based on January 2021 retail sales. 72 months of $0 per month per 1,000 finance. No down payment required.
Goodbye, pests. I'll see you later. I called National Exterminators. For just $46, they get all rodents and bugs. 23946, no bug.
Call the boys and National Exterminators at 23946 no bug, or visit them online at pestcontrolmadeeasy.com for all your pest control needs. Bugs, termites, rodents, and even attic insulation. Better service, better prices, and no contracts.
Goodbye, pests. I'll see you later. I called National Exterminators. For just $46, they get all rodents and bugs. 23946, no bug.
Call the boys and National Exterminators at 23946 no bug, or visit them online at pestcontrolmadeeasy.com for all your pest control needs. Bugs, termites, rodents, and even attic insulation. Better service, better prices, and no contracts.
Dr. Svetlana Kogan here, a board-certified internal medicine concierge physician on 5th Avenue South in Naples. Many of you wonder what holistic practice is. Well, good health is like a puzzle. It depends on how you perceive yourself, your environment, what you eat, your relationships, and lifestyle. It takes time and skill for the doctor to put these pieces of the puzzle together for you and come up with solutions customized to your specific needs. Holistic doctors believe that less medication is better and use preventive approach to keep you out of harm's way. This is also a concierge practice. Every patient gets my email and cell phone for emergencies and can be seen the same day if necessary. You are seen by me personally, and we take all the time that you need. You can visit my website, customlongevity.com. That's customlongevity.com to learn about how I, Dr. Svetlana Kogan, can help you feel healthy and balanced again.
You probably know Lusk, Dre Sites, and Talisano for car accidents and other personal injury matters. But did you know they have attorneys who specialize in many other areas of the law? Whether you're in need of creating or updating your will and testament, or need advice about divorce or child custody, they have an attorney for you. And unlike the all-too-familiar competitors, at Lusk, Dre Sites, and Talisano, you'll be meeting directly with the attorney handling your matter, not some coordinator or case manager looking to increase their numbers. Lusk, Dre Sites, and Talisano. They've been serving you for over 35 years. Have a family law question? Are you seeking a divorce or have child custody issues you need resolved? Do you need assistance with dividing property? At Lusk, Dre Sites, and Talisano, their attorneys can walk you through this difficult process as the needed advocate to protect your legal rights. They've been here for you in the past, they're here today, and will be here for you tomorrow. LDTlaw.com. Offices Cape Coral, Fort Myers, Naples.
Wink News traffic.
Good Monday morning, starting off with a couple of crashes in Collier County. Heading out through Trail Boulevard right off of Ridge Drive, you'll see some delays because of a crash, but no injuries, no roadblock there. We also have a crash in the Estates at Randall Boulevard and Everglades Boulevard North. Again, no injuries, but just watch out for some slight slowdowns if you're heading in that area south of Oil Well Road. I-75 and 41 starting to get busy, but we're not seeing anything getting in your way on the interstate or the highway. Bridge commuters between the Cape and Fort Myers running about 3 to 4 minutes in each direction right now. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Therese O'Shea. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Good morning, Southwest Florida. Looking ahead to the rest of your Monday, we're going to be dodging those scattered showers and thunderstorms throughout the day. And when you factor in that extra cloud cover, high temperatures today are going to struggle to reach 90 degrees. I'm WIC News meteorologist Dylan Federico.
Get more than what the internet tells you. Get up to speed on The Drive with Trey Radel. Weekdays 5 to 7. 92.5 Fox News. Right. All along.
Hi, Michael Crothers, owner of Pure Air Conditioning. Now that our economy has reopened and to help the community, we've decided to offer a safe $29 AC maintenance. All Pure Air employees are supplied with gloves, foot coverings, and KN95 masks for your and their protection. Find us online at getpureair.com to schedule your safe $29 AC maintenance. Join me every Saturday at 11:30 a.m. for the Get Pure Air radio show. I'll be talking about everything from air conditioning maintenance to troubleshooting tips.
Got mold?
In your house?
What do I do now?
Call 239-936-1033.
Call Fire Service, your disaster response friends.
Where do designers store their clients' furniture when doing an estate home remodel? Rice's Moving and Transport in Naples. With over 10,000 square feet of air-conditioned storage space, designers use Rice's Moving and Transport for one reason: trust. They know Rice's Moving team will pad wrap and inspect all articles carefully, then securely store them. Contractors use Rice's during a remodel to store customers' personal items too. Upon completion, everything is then returned to your home, completely unpacked and carefully reassembled. Another important point to consider when selecting a mover is this: only a handful of moving companies actually follow all the laws. Many moving companies simply pay employees in cash. This creates an issue for you as they are not insured. If there's an accident, you're responsible. So if you're planning a whole home or condo remodel or need help moving and storing your treasured furniture and valuables, trust Rice's Moving and Transport, fully licensed and insured for your peace of mind. Rice'sMoving.net, moving you into the future.
It's Fred Kobe with your Kobe Coin Tip of the Day. I see full-page ads in the newspaper every day offering thousands of dollars for your air conditioner trade-in. They're ads about giant rebates and cashback deals, and I personally believe these companies think that the average consumer is too stupid to know the truth. I have more faith in you folks. There's no such thing as a trade-in or a real cashback in this business. The fake rebates and trade-ins are just overpriced air conditioning systems with a discount. They can't resell this equipment, and there's no such thing as an AC trade-in. It's as phony as the people trying to sell them. When you think of air conditioning companies, we hope you'll think of Kobe Cooling. No nonsense and no pressure. We're the company your neighbors use. Bryant, whatever it takes, license CACO 57313. Kobe, the most trusted name in this business since 1949, and never offering fake and phony rebates and cashback.
At Johnson Spinal Care 596 Back, I strive to offer the highest level of care for those suffering with back and neck problems. With unparalleled service and our award-winning non-surgical spinal decompression approach, thousands of people have chosen us to treat their back or neck problems. If you are seeking lasting relief that is proven effective without needles or surgery, then call today to see if you may be a candidate. This completely safe treatment can be effective for many conditions, including sciatica, ruptured or herniated discs, facet syndrome, compressed nerves, arthritis, and spinal stenosis. Additionally, people who had failed back surgery in the past often find incredible relief from spinal decompression. At Johnson Spinal Care, all our treatments are drug-free and non-surgical. We use new and comprehensive approaches that provide lasting relief. Johnson Spinal Care is here to serve you. Call our Medicare-friendly office today for an immediate, no-charge telephone consultation. 596-BACK. 596-BACK. That's 596-2225.
The real estate market is really hot right now, but for how long? I'm Anthony Gomes from GomesMovesHomes.com. You've heard Drew Steele talk about me on his show. If you're thinking about selling your home for a premium price, now is the time. You can sell over market value without doing repairs, letting strangers in your home, and you pick the closing date. Learn how for free. No pressure, no obligation. Go to GomesMovesHomes.com. GomesMovesHomes.com.
This is Drew Steele on 92.5 Fox News. Now, back to Daybreak with Drew Steele.
And everything went black, and all I could feel was just muscle and skin all around me. Did I just get bit by a shark? Or no, it's not a shark. I'm in a whale's mouth. And then all of a sudden I saw light white water everywhere, and all of a sudden I was thrown from his mouth. He was shaking his head, trying to eject me out of his mouth.
That was the guy. That's the guy. 56-year-old lobster diver. First of all, 56 years old and lobster diving. That's pretty impressive, right? I mean, I don't know if that's a normal age to be diving for lobster, but hey, come on. And he says he survived being swallowed by a humpback whale, and it spat him out. Did you hear about this guy? There he is. It was in, was it Massachusetts? Yeah, in the Cape Cod Times, he told the story. 8 a.m., he goes out. He dives off the coast of Provincetown, Massachusetts. He's out there with his brother, I guess, and a couple of others. He said he goes down into the surface. He felt this huge bump. Everything went dark. He thought he got bit by a shark, but he didn't see any shark teeth. He realized he was in the mouth of a whale. Thought it was swallowing him, and then all of a sudden, it comes to the surface and spits him out. He was breathing through a regulator. Struggled to get free 30 or 40 seconds. Yeah, his shipmate, that's who it was, says he saw him being expelled from the whale and fished him out of the water. And they took him to a local hospital, and he's fine. Just a little bit of soft tissue. How about that? Now, I'm looking at the rest of the story. This is from the Huffington Post. Here's an interesting part of the story. You ready for this, Jake? Here it comes. It says the whale was just trying to get a fish, had no intention of turning Packard into breakfast. This is what this marine mammal expert suspects. He's from the New England Aquarium, told the Boston Herald about this. He also said there's evidence suggesting that humpbacks can be altruistic. In other words, they look at humans and they say, look, it says, let me just read the paragraph. He also said there's evidence suggesting that humpbacks can be altruistic toward humans, which may be why the creature swam to the surface before spitting Packard out. Which begs the question, if a humpback whale is altruistic, shouldn't they look and go, oh man, I shouldn't eat this guy? Like, shouldn't he know ahead of time that it's a guy swimming in the water? Say, oh, my bad. And then spits him out at the surface. I don't know. Do you think humpback whales are altruistic? They look at humans and go, oh, man, I know this guy. I never see him in the water, so clearly they live outside, and I got to get him to the surface and spit him out so there's air up there. Jake is like, at this point, why not? Maybe it's humpback whales that have started these UFOs that are flying over military installations. Maybe they're not aliens. Maybe you're looking in the wrong direction. Maybe they're not in the sky. They're in the oceans. You see, I didn't think about that. It was a great movie about that. Oh, gosh. Somebody's going to help me. Come on, 239-479-5592. There was a movie, I want to say it was in the 90s or... No, I think it was in the 90s. It's a movie about aliens in the oceans. And there was like an alien city, and one of the characters, they end up learning how to breathe underwater without the use of anything, and they can go really deep, and they do something to their lungs to be able to... It was cool, and I forget. It was so cool, I've completely forgot the name of the movie. Anyway, enough whale talk. Jake is completely disinterested and probably half the audience. Come back. 239-479-5592. All right. Let's see. What else is going on this morning? I was going to take Kevin's call in Fort Myers. Kevin wanted to talk about something that happened on 60 Minutes. I was going to take your call, Kevin. So if you want to call back, you can certainly do that. All right. Let's see what else we have. We have Governor Ron DeSantis talking about Joe Biden's trip over the weekend, talking about the G7 and his thoughts. Brought up a couple of interesting points. I wanted to play this. He was on Maria Bartiromo's program. And listen to what he had to say about Joe Biden's trip.
I think it's quite a contrast from his predecessor. I think that President Biden is someone that's much more passive on the world stage, not nearly as assertive as somebody like Donald Trump was.
You think? You think?
I think his energy level is obviously much lower. And so I think that's just something that people are sizing up. I think that our adversaries are watching that.
I love how Governor DeSantis used the low energy Joe kind of. He used the low energy Joe comment. That's great.
I didn't hear very much in the way of holding China accountable for their role in covering up the origins of the COVID-19 pandemic. I think that's absolutely essential that China be held accountable for their role in that, as well as any bureaucrats in the United States who may have been covering up. But, they were talking economically a lot about other countries. He was talking about reducing energy production worldwide. And I couldn't help but think, here in the United States, he's leaving a lot of people behind. Look at all the workers he left behind by canceling the Keystone XL pipeline. Those were thousands and thousands of very good jobs.
I just want to stop there for a second because a couple of things that the governor is talking about with Maria Bartiromo about the G7 trip, and two things that I noticed what he was saying there. The first is the last portion of what he just mentioned, which is oil and how he mentioned, let me go back to this, when he said...
He was talking about reducing energy production worldwide. And I couldn't help but think, here in the United States, he's leaving a lot of people behind. Look at all the workers he left behind by canceling the Keystone XL pipeline.
Right. Okay. So understanding that that's also part of the Great Reset. Part of the Great Reset has been about getting rid of oil, getting rid of fossil fuels, getting rid of and getting into these green energies and really ramping that up. And it's something that he doesn't mention. He'll allow Russia and Nord Stream 2 and allow them to have this oil export and allow them to be able to do that, but won't do it on our soil. And this suggestion that if we do it, that others will follow. And you understand how that works. It doesn't. But the other point that he was making was about China and their responsibility. Didn't talk about that with COVID, right?
I didn't hear very much in the way of holding China accountable for their role in covering up the origins of the COVID-19 pandemic.
Yeah, and you know that that's not going to be brought up. Nobody wants to talk about that. But let's remember something else that's going on. We hear that Joe Biden doesn't want to talk to the rest of the world about the origins of the virus and whether or not it was gain of function and whether or not it was a lab leak, and China is denying it more and more and double and tripling down on that denial. But there is something else that's going on that the Wall Street Journal mentioned, and something that we're doing right here with our own CDC, and why government, I'll just say, stinks, and how this is the worst of what government does. And it has to do with the pandemic's toll on teen mental health. Did the CDC ignore what the real crisis is when it comes to teens and try to spark a panic about COVID hospitalizations while ignoring the teen mental health numbers? Did they try to spin out of this? Our own Centers for Disease Control, they wouldn't do that, would they? I'm going to read this story coming up in just a second. But first, who is this? This is Sins? Like, is that short for Cynthia? Is that what it is?
Yes, that's sure. That's it.
Okay, and you're in Naples. And all right, so you have the answer to my question. I do. Yeah, so one of the great movies, it really is, I think it's underrated. I don't know a lot of people that have talked about it, but it was a really good movie. A kind of sci-fi thrilling kind of movie. The end gets a little weird, but the point is, all right, so what's the name of the movie?
I believe the movie you're speaking about is called The Abyss.
That's it.
He goes on the border and then they see the world. It's a world of aliens.
There's a world of aliens that are underneath in the ocean, in the depths of the ocean. And leading up to I won't say what happens at the very, very end, where it's like, unfortunately, the very end, you have to take yourself out of reality. The end, the very end reminds me of, what was the Indiana Jones part 3 or whichever it was, where the guy survives an atomic blast in like a freezer or something crazy like that. But you kind of have to, all right, I'll run with it. But the rest of the movie right up to that point was pretty awesome, right?
Well, it sounds like what's happening now with the UFOs diving into the water, doesn't it? It's weird.
It's very strange. I'm telling you, we're looking in the wrong directions. Maybe the UFOs are coming from the oceans up instead of the skies down.
Maybe, but you have a great morning.
I'll try.
All right, thank you so
we'll
much.
See you. Thanks for that. There you go. So the Abyss. You've never heard of it. Jake's still trying to find out more about the reference that I made to start the show about the He-Man Women Haters Club. Did you find out about the He-Man Women Haters Club?
Yeah, I actually took a couple notes in their little meeting they had.
Yeah? You took notes of the meeting? Okay. Maybe I'll leave that one alone. Maybe we'll save that for next hour. Okay. So this hour, the fun question of the hour was about one of my favorite sci-fi movies that instead of an alien movie from the skies down, it's actually from the oceans up. Watch The Abyss. You'll see what I'm talking about. Next hour, the question's going to be, do you have any idea what I'm talking about when I say the He-Man Women Haters Club? Oof, talk about non-PC. All right, we'll get to that coming up. But again, as the governor of the state of Florida is mentioning, and he talked about the president and the G7, nobody wants to talk about the Wuhan virus. Nobody wants to talk about lab leaks. Nobody wants to talk about the gain of function and how Anthony Fauci last week so defiant and in your face and you're anti-science if you go after Dr. Fauci, and really like the arrogance of the NIH director. But what about the arrogance of the CDC? What did they do? The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention released a report last week warning that adolescent hospitalizations due to COVID-19 were on the rise. Did you hear that? Do you remember? We talked about it, right? Didn't we mention? I seem to remember, maybe it wasn't on the air, but I talked to somebody about it. Media picked up on the message and they ran with it, but it isn't true. This is from the Wall Street Journal. The CDC misrepresented the data and played down a more important finding that provides further evidence that pandemic control measures are likely having a serious adverse impact on young people's mental health. And they won't talk about it, but it's in the data. The CDC truncated its analysis at the precise date, April 24th, that would cast an increase in teen hospitalization in the worst possible light. The 10% rise in early March that attracted so many headlines was similar to rises in other age groups and had declined sharply by late April. Adolescent hospitalizations for COVID-19 were back down to 0.6 per 100,000 by late May before the CDC report was published, and well below the rate of 2.6% for the adult U.S. population. Moreover, COVID cases among children in 2021 have now fallen by 84%, and hospitalizations are down by 69% since January, thanks largely to adult vaccinations. And again, this narrative that's been out there that somehow, some way, your kids are in danger when it comes to the COVID and all the data, all the science for a year and a half, and the numbers would show. When you're talking about 350, and of course, every death is a tragic death, 350 deaths of kids under the age of 17 nationally. What are we talking about here? But while the CDC oversold the teen COVID narrative, it failed to emphasize the most troubling aspect of its study. 20% of teen hospitalizations in the study between January 1st and March 31st, 2021, were for psychiatric emergencies, not COVID. Although pandemic-related closures have made it difficult to study the mental health of children during the past year, the available data points to a crisis. The CDC had the numbers. They knew that the numbers had to do with a mental health crisis, and yet tried to make it sound like it was a COVID crisis. It was a mental health crisis. This is your government at work. What are they doing? Why are we not calling them out for this? Why are we not asking more questions? How could you do this? How could you make it sound like this is your push to try to get people to vaccinate? Is to take numbers and twist them and I won't even say lie, but they're out there, but yet cherry pick which numbers will get you to where you want to be in the government when it comes to vaccinations, as opposed to a real crisis that's happening with mental health. You probably know somebody who's having an issue with this. Yeah. All right. Well, maybe we'll talk more about that coming up. And more on the He-Man Women Haters Club. Gosh, I got to stop. I probably shouldn't even bring it up anymore. Would you say I should leave it alone, Jake? Just, no, you think it's funny. All right, 239-479-5592. I don't even remember how I came up with it. All right, it's Daybreak 92.5, Fox News, right all along.
92.5 Fox News.
Rush Limbaugh. Venezuela turned to socialism. Liberals here were thrilled. Celebrities, college professors, the media, Democrat politicians, they couldn't wait to genuflect before the thug dictator Hugo Chavez, especially when he smeared America and Bush 43 at the UN. Well, now, almost 20 years later, Venezuela has gone down the tubes. There are shortages of everything, including power, even though it's an oil-rich country. There are thousands upon thousands of failed businesses. The economy is in absolute shambles. But this past weekend was the clearest demonstration yet of how bad things are. Over 100,000 people on foot crossed a new border checkpoint from Venezuela into Colombia. And they were searching for food. They were trying to buy rice, milk, flour, other basic commodities. They can't get it home. Well, they can get it on Venezuela's flourishing black market if they can afford to pay the 10,000% markup for food. In some cities, people are scavenging dumpsters, even taking spoiled vegetables and bones to have something to feed their families. None of this misery is an accident, folks. It is a direct result of the socialist policies of Hugo Chavez and his successor. And now that Venezuela's economy is in collapse and unrest is spreading, our liberal elites are nowhere to be found. You could say Venezuela's chickens have come home to roost. But if a chicken shows up there these days, its days are over. It's snatched up for dinner. It's in a pot before it even knows what to squawk about.
Unforgettable. That's the impression that you, the Rush Limbaugh audience, made with your support for Rush's last charitable effort. Your generosity resulted in a $5 million donation to the Tunnel to Towers Foundation. Rush said it best.
We chose Tunnel to Towers to be the beneficiary of the campaign because we love the work they do. When a family experiences significant loss, the mother or father passes while serving our country, Tunnel to Towers steps in, pays off mortgages in full for these families, and provides them with the comfort of a home when their world has literally been turned upside down.
The foundation does the same for first responders and also builds smart homes for our most catastrophically injured veterans and first responders. Do good by donating $11 a month to Tunnel to Towers at T2T.org. That's the letter T, the number 2, the letter T.org.
Because it's my vision, I take the most studied eye vitamin brand.
Because it's my vision, I take the eye vitamin brand backed by 20 years of research.
Because it's my vision, I take PreserVision.
Age-related macular degeneration is the leading cause of vision loss in adults over 60. That's why the National Eye Institute did 20 years of clinical studies on the formula that's found in PreserVision. From the eye experts at Bausch & Lomb, PreserVision AREDS 2 formula eye vitamins contain the exact nutrient formula recommended by the National Eye Institute to help reduce the risk of moderate to advanced AMD progression.
Because it's my vision, I made a plan with my doctor that includes PreserVision. Find PreserVision in the vitamin aisle. Available at Walmart.
These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
For professional roofing, the name you need to know is D.R. Martineau.
Dan Martineau from D.R. Martineau Roofing and Gutters. Get your mind out of the gutters. We are proud to announce the addition of our seamless aluminum gutter division. Contact our team for your free quote. Just Google DRM Roofing.
License number CCC 1326954.
For professional roofing, the name you need to know is D.R. Martineau.
NCH Heart Institute is home to the most experienced and most dedicated team of physicians and nurses in Southwest Florida. Over the past 30 years, NCH Heart Institute has mastered the quality, the care, and the holistic patient experience that can only be found within a nationally ranked heart institute. Caring for a patient, mind, heart, and body. That's the cornerstone of our critical care team, which ranks in the top 2% of all hospitals in America.
NCH Heart Institute, at the heart of what matters most.
The real estate market is really hot right now, but for how long? I'm Anthony Gomes from GomesMovesHomes.com. You've heard Drew Steele talk about me on his show. If you're thinking about selling your home for a premium price, now is the time. You can sell over market value without doing repairs, letting strangers in your home, and you pick the closing date. Learn how for free. No pressure, no obligation. Go to GomesMovesHomes.com. GomesMovesHomes.com.
Manufactured in the USA, Plantation Shutters for You is the best choice for plantation shutters. Custom measured and installed just for you. Built to last forever. They will not be undersold. Start with a free consultation. PlantationShuttersForYou.com. And God bless everyone.
I'm Mark Anajar from the law offices of Anajar and Levine. Unfortunately, many drivers in Florida do not carry liability insurance or have limits of insurance that are insufficient to cover your injuries. Uninsured motorist is valuable coverage that you can purchase to protect you in those instances. Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733 for a free consultation and take back control of your life.
Office in Fort Myers, Naples.
At Mr. Sparky, we're America's on-time electrician. Flickering lights and hot switches can be annoying, but they can also signal a major problem, or worse, an electrical emergency. So play it safe and leave it to the experts at Mr. Sparky. Trust our team of professional, clean, and friendly electricians. We'll get it done right and get it done safely.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888.
Independently owned and operated, licensed in the respective state or county.
92.5 WFSX Estero. It's 7 o'clock on Southwest Florida's news and talk station, 92.5 Fox News. This is 92.5 Fox News.
New city, new summit. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
NATO is critically important for U.S. interest in and of itself. If there weren't one, we'd have to invent one.
President Biden's now in Brussels for talks with NATO leaders after the G7 gathering of world leaders in England.
President Trump pushed very hard to get NATO countries to commit and go over that 2% minimum GDP spend on military, earning the organization up to $130 billion a year extra in funding. It will be far less confrontational a relationship under President Biden, who arrived in Brussels last night. Certainly on the agenda will be how to repurpose NATO to counter China as well as Russia. And the other main topic will be the withdrawal of troops from Afghanistan.
Fox's Benjamin Hall in Brussels. Wednesday, the president will meet with Russia's leader. The two agree relations are at a low point. Benjamin Netanyahu was out in Israel. A new government was sworn in last night, led by Prime Minister Naftali Bennett. Republican Senator Lindsey Graham tells Fox,
our relationship will stay strong. But the one thing I worry about, will this new government speak up against the Iranian nuclear agreement?
The Senate's Majority Leader Chuck Schumer wants former Attorney General and others, Barr and others, to testify about the Trump administration secretly seizing phone records from House Democrats amid the Russia probe, looking for the source of leaks.
It's about people's phone records being subpoenaed without them even knowing about it. And who knows who would be next.
The former president's own White House counsel also under scrutiny. Fox's Rachel Sutherland has more live.
Dave, the Trump Justice Department subpoenaed information about accounts belonging to former White House counsel Don McGahn and his wife in 2018. Apple, which was recently released from a gag order, informed McGahn about the seizure. Last week, House Democrats released a transcript of an interview with McGahn in which he confirmed that the former president discussed firing Robert Mueller, special counsel for the Russia probe. Trump has long denied he tried to get rid of Mueller. Dave?
America's listening to Fox News.
This update is presented by Lee Auto Group. Find your perfect vehicle at lee-cars.com.
Wink News. Traffic.
Good morning. Off to a busy start on the Midpoint Bridge heading out of Cape Coral eastbound into Fort Myers. Clear heading westbound into the Cape on the bridge, though. So if you need to head out of Cape Coral, you may want to take the Cape Coral Bridge or route yourself to North Fort Myers, take the Caloosahatchee or Edison into downtown Fort Myers. I-75 running up to speed with no trouble spots or delays picking up just yet, but the roads are starting to dry out from some early morning overnight showers out there. So take it easy, especially through Charlotte County, 776, 41, and I-75. All a very slick highway drive out there. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Therese O'Shea. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Good morning, Southwest Florida. Looking ahead to the rest of your Monday, we're going to be dodging those scattered showers and thunderstorms throughout the day. And when you factor in that extra cloud cover, high temperatures today are going to struggle to reach 90 degrees. I'm Wink News meteorologist Dylan Federico.
Drew Steele in the morning and Trey Radel in the afternoon. 2 doses of what cures liberalism. 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
Hi, I'm Kyle Lee with Lee Auto Group. We want your car, truck, van, or SUV today. We are paying top dollar for clean vehicles. Before you sell or trade, call Lee Auto Group to get the most money for your car. Lee Auto Group, lee-cars.com. Don't forget the dash.
Lee Auto Group is looking for quality pre-owned vehicles. Let them make your buying or selling experience easy and safe. Contact Lee Auto Group at 239-288-7374 or visit lee-cars.com.
Don't forget the dash.
Dial star 2020. Friends, I care.
Trey Radel, your host of The Drive here. Summer is around the corner. Let me ask you, how great is it to go take a walk in 95-degree heat, 100% humidity, no rain, and your glasses on? Ever try playing sports with your glasses on in the summer? How about even just heading into the pool? It's annoying. It's terrible. Do yourself a favor. Go get LASIK. I did it with Dr. Jonathan France and his team, and honest to God, my life has been changed. It's amazing. I mean, imagine just waking up in the morning and not having to deal with looking at the alarm clock, fumbling for your glasses, playing sports, whatever it may be. LASIK is the way. Give Dr. France and his team a call today. Dial ** 2020 from your mobile phone. Again, ** 2020 from your mobile phone. Before the summer starts, get your LASIK today with Dr. France and his team. I did. It changed my life.
Friends, I care.
Got mold?
In your house?
What do I do now?
Call 239-936-1033.
Call Fire Service, your disaster response friends.
We believe in better. A better way to invest, a better way to serve you, and a better result. We can help you determine how much risk you're taking, red flags that could be potential problems for you, how much you're paying in fees or commissions, potential tax liability, or even how to address Social Security.
Tune into WealthWorks Radio with Eric Carney, Saturdays at 6 a.m., Sundays at 9 a.m., right here on 92.5 Fox News Radio.
After a car accident, you can feel like you've lost control. I'm Glenn Levine from the law offices of Anajar and Levine. Our team can help you understand your legal options after an accident. We will file your claim and fight for the full compensation you deserve. If you've been involved in a car accident, call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733 for a free consultation. And take back control of your life.
Offices Fort Myers and Naples. She's been shopping for months to make sure that when she walks, people are always looking at her feet. Italian, classic, modern, she had to find the perfect look. And when her friends come and visit, their gaze always goes down to admire her floors.
Get your floors noticed. GC Flooring Boutique for indoor and outdoor living. View GC Flooring's extensive stone, mosaic, vinyl, wood, and tile. Your Leño Bastone Gallery on JNC Boulevard. GCFlooringofNaples.com.
From 92.5 Fox News.
It's the stuff Southwest Florida is talking about.
It's Daybreak. Now, here's the guy at the epicenter of what's important to those of us who live in Southwest Florida. Drew Steele.
Well, good morning, Southwest Florida. Glad you're here. 239-479-5592. The talk and text line streaming live. DrewSteele.com. That's the website. Steele has 3 E's. We do appreciate that you are watching at the website, whether it's on your smartphone, smart device. It is made specifically for that. It's just a basic website. Also at Facebook, at Drew Steele Radio. Anytime you want to call, we would love to hear from you. Going to hear from parents this morning, possibly critical race theory on the docket for Collier County and the Collier County School Board meeting happening today, talking about the ELCA and CRT textbooks and whether or not that critical race theory is being taught in our schools. And look, this is the trick, everybody. Just to remind everyone what's happening here. It's worth a daily refresher because I think a lot of people are confused as to what is going on, and they're hearing both sides. And the one side, the left, is making a compelling argument for people who honestly want to see a difference in the world, want to see a difference in the country, but they're lying in the way they're describing conservatives' position on what critical race theory is. It's just a flat-out lie. Look, you're going to be told that critical race theory is not being taught in your schools. You're going to be told that it's not happening. You can't find the words in the textbooks. That's not what this is, and that's not what's happening. The idea is that anytime you hear about equity, equality of outcome, anytime you hear about social justice or social justice reform, or anytime you hear certain phrases in your schools, then you're going to know that it's taking place, that it's happening in your school. Anytime you have a school that is doing some kind of exercise with kids that are telling everybody to line up, and the Black and Hispanic kids take a step back and the white kids take 2 steps forward, and they suggest that this is the way of the world, that is critical race theory. That is exactly what they're doing and how your kids are being taught and indoctrinated. When we use those words, that's exactly what it is, what it means. And so it doesn't have to be specific the way you're being told. In other words, that there's some kind of class that's being taught. That's not the case. And so that's something that's important that we all see and realize. That's number one. So that will be part of the discussion this morning or today at the Collier County School Board with this issue. The other thing, too, which I think is fascinating, is how the left will not specifically define, and even those that have helped to create this in our minds cannot explain specifically what it is. And I know it sounds crazy. Professor Ibram Kendi has talked many times on CBS News This Morning. Last week, we talked about this on other networks. Those that have been pushing critical race theory. He is one in particular, the How to Be an Anti-Racist author. And the idea that being an anti-racist means being racist. That's exactly what it is. But if you're even asking these individuals, what does it mean specifically? Give me the specifics as to what you're trying to accomplish. How are you doing this? All you need to know is that this is Marxism on display. This is another way of getting Marxist ideology into our kids, indoctrinating our kids into our schools. All they've done is taken the oppressed and the oppressor and changed it from a class warfare issue to a white versus black issue. That's what they've done. That's all it is. You just take what you know about that and just plug in white versus black instead of a class warfare, the rich versus the poor. You just flip it around and it's done. But there's 2 things that you have to recognize that I think are important. Number one is when you have somebody like Robert Reich. Robert Reich, who for the longest time worked for the Clintons, talking economics, right? An economics professor, former United States Secretary of Labor, and he goes on to his Twitter account to explain the problem that he has with conservatives and those that are arguing against critical race theory. And anybody who would suggest that this is a bad thing doesn't understand what it is. And here's how it becomes convincing to people who haven't looked into critical race theory except on the surface. Look, I need a soundbite. I just need to understand my position. So liberal Robert Reich goes onto his Twitter account and says this.
The so-called Party of Free Speech is now going after academic freedom. A host of Republican-controlled states have passed or are gearing up to pass bills that ban teaching the role race has played in the history of American politics.
Okay, let's just stop right there. That we're banning what?
The role race has played in the history of American politics.
No, it's not. No, it's not. We'll let it go on for a second.
Policy and law. Conservatives lob the term critical race theory against the nation's tragic racial history they don't want students to know.
We don't want students to know about our past, about the racism that was there in our past, what has happened in our past. We also want to talk about the strides that have been made in this country, but certainly nobody is hiding from the racism in our past. But that is the first thing that they throw out there.
Policy and law. Conservatives lob the term critical race theory against the nation's tragic racial history they don't want students to know, calling it indoctrination or brainwashing. Well, as an educator, I can tell you that the real indoctrination and brainwashing is in leaving out this history and only teaching children the myths that we've always been a perfect country, always lived up to our ideals.
Well, hold on a second. We've always been a perfect country? Who's running around and saying we've always been a perfect country? No country is perfect. No person is perfect. You see what he's doing? A bunch of ridiculous, flat-out lies about critical race theory. The first one, again, all right, let me just attack these piece by piece, because this is important.
Conservatives lob the term critical race theory.
We lob the term critical race theory. The term critical race theory exists by those that are trying to push it. That's their term. That is Ibram Kendi's term. That is something that they believe exists, that term. Again, I'm going to stop here just because I have to read this article from Slate about Ibram X. Kendi and critical race theory. That you have Robert Reich, who is going to take whoever is following him on Twitter and spew out a bunch of distortions, lies. Nobody is hiding from our past. Nobody wants to stop talking about what we did in the past. Nobody wants to not bring up what we did in the past. Nobody is suggesting that as a country there are things that we can do to get better at everything. But it depends on how you're couching the discussion to begin with. And those that push critical race theory, you already know what they're pushing. You all need to know that this is just a form of Marxism. That's all it is. It's to divide. It's to break up this country. That is what we're doing here. And so when you go to Slate, and Slate does an interview back in, about a month ago with Ibram X. Kendi. All right, now this is Slate, a left-leaning website, right? Critical race theory is a convenient target for conservatives. So right out of the gate, you get your clickbait. Across the country, Republicans like Florida Governor Ron DeSantis are fighting against critical race theory, even if they don't know what it is. No, we know what it is. We're trying to explain to people exactly what it is. So what about interviewing Professor Ibram X. Kendi? Why don't you interview him and ask him flat out what it is? And they did. And listen to this explanation. Tell me if you think that this explanation is clear, concise, and has you walking away understanding everything you need to know. Dr. Kendi, in your mind, what actually is critical race theory? And why do you think Republicans and so many people are so in a kerfuffle about it now? And here's his answer from Slate. Critical race theory emerged among lawyers and legal scholars who recognized that despite being in this post-civil rights America, racial inequality and disparity still existed and persisted. For them, and for critical race theorists, the aim was to examine those structures, those laws, those policies, so that we can uncover the structures of racism. And obviously, critical race theory has extended out to other disciplines. Personally, I think that Republicans specifically chose to attack critical race theory because they felt that they could define it more easily than other terms. Since they couldn't come out and say, oh, wait, those people who are challenging systemic racism are a problem, they couldn't say those anti-racists are a problem. So they're defining critical race theory. At the same time, they're attacking it. And critical race theorists are like, that's not how we define it. He didn't define it. That's the point. All of that is meaningless. Nobody walks away from this article understanding where they stand. And that's the point. You couldn't listen to what I just read to you and go, oh, I have a full understanding now from a person who is talking about being an anti-racist who has written a book on it. Couldn't explain it to me in a paragraph. Did you get anything out of that? Of course you didn't. That's the plan. It's all of these words. The post-civil rights America, racial inequality and disparity still existed and persisted. Critical race theory has extended out to different disciplines. The aim was to examine those structures, those laws, those policies, so that we can uncover the structures of racism. Does any of that make it clear to you now what it is? Of course it doesn't. But it's clear to them. And again, using Marxism, replacing the oppressed and the oppressor, words that they love to run around, T-shirts and everything else and talk about it. And then instead of making it about class and the rich and the poor and how that's worked out, taking that and changing that with white and black. And that is what it becomes now. And then admitting or claiming that because you are racist, the country was founded on racism, that everything has to be torn down. The structures of racism, the structures are everything. Your laws, policies, the Constitution, the Bill of Rights. Do you see how they're doing this? Now, if you think that it's you're still not sure. You're still not sure what's going on here. And you have people like Robert Reich, who is a professor at Berkeley, the former Secretary of Labor, who is lying on his Twitter account and confusing people even more with his lies. Let's remember how certain individuals have gone to white people and explained to them to their face about how they are demons, evil, by birth, racist, by the fact that they're white. These are not my words again. Ashley Shackelford at the Netroots Convention not too long ago. A group of white people there in this Netroots Convention, to hear her tell them this.
White people are racist. So I put this up because I really want any white person in the room to know up front that this is what we're dealing with, that it's not going to be this coddling of white tears and what that looks like. We're not going to discuss, oh, maybe some of us have worked it out. No, you're always going to be racist, actually. So even when you're on your path to trying to figure out how to be a better human being, because I believe that white people are born into not being human, like that actually, instead of people of color and black folks being dehumanized, that actually everyone is dehumanized off rip within white supremacy, that y'all are born into a life to not be human, and that's what y'all are taught to do, to be demons. So in this particular way, white people are all racist.
She's saying that in a room filled with white people, and not one of them's got up to walk out or say this is outrageous. They're there to find out how bad and awful they are. By the way, if you're wondering who Ashley Shackelford is, this is according to the Huffington Post. She's a queer, non-binary black fat femme writer, cultural producer, and artist As a fat hood feminist, this is their words, not mine, Ashley is committed to centering ratchet politics, body acceptance, accessibility, and anti-respectability within her work as a creator, producer, and speaker. And she's got a website. There you go. Again, many questions, and Christopher Rufo, who's done great work on examining what critical race theory is and is not, and ultimately something that is being brought up in all of our districts, and we're trying to find out more about it, is something that he mentioned in a podcast recently with David French and Barry Weiss. Like, what is the end game here? What are you looking to accomplish? Because Ibram X. Kendi is suggesting that we have someone that is a unelected official that would be from a Department of Anti-Racism that would be able to look at all of our laws and things that would be coming out of Washington, D.C. to decide whether or not they were racist or not, and nobody would be able to challenge them or stop them. That this is the way to solve it, to solve racism in the country. Does that sound right to you? And again, where are we going with this? And if you understand that if you're on the left right now and you think that this is not a big deal and I don't want to be racist, I want to be anti-racist, I want to go against people that are racist. But you hear the language that is coming from people who are the ones supporting this idea of critical race theory, that you can't figure out what the end is going to be. What do you want? Till you realize that all of this is another form of Marxism. And then you start to realize it is serious. And you're winning this battle, and you're pushing against what is happening. And just like the left never goes away, they lose battles time and time and time and time again, but they win wars. Think of anything that has changed culturally, and they've won. That's why we are where we are, because they don't stop, and neither can you. 239-479-5592 is the talk and text line, streaming live. DrewSteele.com is the website. We'll get to more of this coming up. There have been some more things that have been said. I'm trying to see where I found... I can't find it at the moment. All right, I had something else to say about it, but we're moving on. Joe Biden, G7, some audio, the audio of Boris Johnson shushing him with his hand out to his face, basically, like Joe Biden... No, that really happened. That was pretty shocking. And some other things that are going on, including the wealth distribution or redistribution that's happening in our neighborhoods. Rentals. People coming in and buying homes and then renting them out in our neighborhoods. It sounds pretty simple. You may have heard about this with BlackRock and other institutional investors. What could be the harm in that? In buying entire neighborhoods at huge premiums. They want to buy them up, let them. Not a big deal, right? If an institution wants to come in and buy up your neighborhood, if there's houses for sale and they just want to come in and say, hey, I'll give you top dollar. What do you say? Is there something more insidious behind this? I've said it to people, and then I found an article about it, and I'm a little concerned. But I'll put it out to you and see what you think. All right, it's Daybreak 92.5 Fox News, right all along.
This is 92.5 Fox News. You don't have to feel distant. Come join the conversation.
I am mad at everything going on.
This is 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
For professional roofing, the name you need to know is D.R. Martineau.
Dan Martineau from D.R. Martineau Roofing. For 30 years, we have been offering the best warranties in the industry. Remember, D.R. Martineau Roofing. Integrity, knowledge, service. Just Google DRM Roofing.
License number CCC 1326954.
For professional roofing, the name you need to know is D.R. Martineau.
Do you consider yourself the best of the best in HVAC? Conditioned Air is looking for A players to join our winning team. If you consider yourself an A player and love customer service, you should apply so we can get your career path started. We have several top-paying positions available now in Sarasota, Fort Myers, and Naples. Don't wait. Go online to conditionedair.com and apply right now. Conditioned Air, the comfort people since 1962. License number CAC 1819590.
You find yourself searching for a reputable air conditioning company?
Don't sweat. Call Brett.
I'm Crystal Casey with Brett Air Conditioning. For over 45 years, our motto has been, don't sweat, call Brett. We are a family-owned business with a great reputation. Whether your AC needs maintained, serviced, or replaced, we are here to serve you. So stop searching and join the Brett Air family today. You can find us online at brettairconditioning.com or call us at 239-566-3633. 239-566-3633.
If you don't love your AC company, call Brett Air right now. Find them online at brettairconditioning.com or like them on Facebook.
Don't sweat. Call Brett.
License number CAC 1819995.
Hey, this is Papa, reporting that we're still getting a lot of calls from homeowners who were told they needed a new re-roof after Irma. Most of these folks had a few broken tiles that are obsolete. Our company has 2 warehouses filled with the older obsolete tiles that have never been used. If you think that you may not need a new re-roof, but only need to replace some obsolete tile, please call me for our free tile roof inspection. We may be able to repair and seal your roof to make it look new and beautiful, a lot cheaper than replacing the entire roof. If you call me for our free inspection, we'll place you on our proactive list. And in the event of another hurricane, you won't have to go searching for a contractor because we will automatically call you to see if you need assistance. Let me show you how we can clean and seal and protect your roof, pavers, and pool decks. On behalf of my sons, Casey, Carrie, and Cody, call us at 945-2700. That's 945-2700, area code 239-945-2700. We're open 24/7, and you can call us right now for a free tile roof inspection.
License number CCC 1326213.
If you're moving, selling, or purchasing furniture and need help getting it home, there are a lot of moving companies to choose from. But wait, all moving companies are not created equal. Sure, if you're moving your college students' furniture, hiring young movers is fine. But if you're moving highly valued items, you need Rice's Moving and Transport. They meticulously pad wrap everything and secure your valuables and gently pack, transport, and set them up. Rice's Moving and Transport employs skilled professional movers who respect your belongings, not just young hunks who can lift heavy things. Moving is stressful enough. Don't stress about hiring the right moving company. Here's what Teresa in Naples said about Rice's Moving and Transport. I was so impressed when your moving crew came to my home. They politely introduced themselves by name. Seems small, but it made an impression. When you need help moving, trust Rice's Moving and Transport. Rice'sMoving.net, moving you into the future.
We'll buy your car today on the spot and pay you $500 more than anyone else. It's the ultimate buyback event at Sutherland Nissan Fort Myers and Sutherland Nissan Cape Coral. 4 days only. Market conditions and a record month have caused a massive demand for your used vehicle, allowing Sutherland to pay more than ever for trade-ins. Up to 130% book value and $500 more than any other written offer. No purchase necessary. Sutherland Nissan will buy your car outright. You don't need to buy one of our cars. Bring your vehicle to Sutherland and get paid up to 130% value today. Hurry, this event ends 7 p.m. Sunday. It's the ultimate buyback event at Sutherland Nissan Fort Myers and Sutherland Nissan Cape Coral. Nobody in Florida pays you more for your old car than Sutherland. Sutherland Nissan Fort Myers and the all-new Sutherland Nissan Cape Coral, your used car megastore. Online at flnissan.com. If you don't shop Sutherland, you'll pay too much.
See dealer for details.
This break is sponsored by Cornerstone Builders. Give us the opportunity to wow you.
Wink News, traffic.
Your Monday morning drive off to a wet start out there. Take it slow, especially if you're heading through Charlotte County right now towards 776 McCall Road, 41 and I-75. But we're all clear on the interstate. No major slowdowns to look out for just yet. And all of our overnight, early morning construction has cleared on the interstate. Getting busy on the Midpoint Bridge eastbound out of the Cape into Fort Myers. You may want to reroute yourself to the Cape Coral Bridge. Otherwise, we're seeing delays on Daniels Parkway picking up toward Gateway right near Treeline Avenue and 75. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Therese O'Shea. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Good morning, Southwest Florida. Looking ahead to the rest of your Monday, we're going to be dodging those scattered showers and thunderstorms throughout the day. And when you factor in that extra cloud cover, high temperatures today are going to struggle to reach 90 degrees. I'm Wink News meteorologist Dylan Federico.
It's not the Republican Party versus the Democrat Party.
Talking about what matters.
It's the Republican Party versus an organized crime syndicate.
92.5 Fox News.
Imagine replacing your old kitchen with the kitchen of your dreams. Brand new custom-made cabinet doors. Drawer fronts, hand-finished by true craftsmen. Designer hardware, new hinges, and everything installed beautifully in less than a week, start to finish. Expensive? No. To the contrary, with refacing by Cornerstone, you'll save so much, we should really talk about your master bathroom, too. Go for wow. Go for Cornerstone.
When was the last time you checked in on your insurance? Give CIG a chance to review your current coverage and find you better rates. Hi, this is Brian Chapman at Chapman Insurance Group. My team and I are dedicated to finding you the best suited coverage at the best rates. Give us an opportunity to quote your home, auto, business, or flood policy. I'm confident we can save you money for the same or better coverage. Qualified agents are standing by. Visit CIGFlorida.com or call an office near you today. Naples, Fort Myers, Cape Coral, Port Charlotte, and Punta Gorda. CIGFlorida.com.
Getting older has its advantages. Early bird dinners, senior discounts, day drinking. If you're one of the millions turning 65 soon, it might be time to take a look at your insurance options. Original Medicare, Medicare Advantage, so much to keep in mind. At Millennium Physician Group, half our patients are 65 plus. No matter what insurance benefits you choose, make sure your Millennium primary care doctor is part of your plan and your connection to a healthier life. Millennium Physician Group. Connect today. 844-CALL-MPG, MillenniumPhysician.com.
Hello, I'm Brian Resney, president of Resney Wealth Management and host of the Resney Wealth Report and TV show on the weekends. Investors come to my TV and radio shows to learn and to get educated so they can make better decisions about their retirement and their portfolio. What's your risk management strategy? Are you willing to subject your portfolio to another massive decline in a set it and forget it strategy, or are you looking for a difference? Listen to my show Sunday mornings, 10 to noon on 92.5 Fox News Radio.
Ty Lassiter here with Key City Capital. And we're super excited to be growing roots right here in Southwest Florida and are looking forward to being a part of this community for years to come. So why are we Key City Capital here in Southwest Florida? Well, at KCAP, our mission is to connect capital to wealth for all our clients and partners through passive real estate and alternative investments. Very simply, we generate and distribute double-digit returns for our investors by investing in single-family homes and apartments and unique alternative cash-flowing asset-backed investments.
If you're looking for significant returns from real estate and alternative investments without any risk of loss to your principal and without all the work of collecting rent or worrying about stock market volatility, call us today at 239-330-2080. That's 239-330-2080. 239-330-2080. Or check us out online today at kcap925.com. That's kcap925.com.
In business, it's never just another day. Every day is the day. It could bring your biggest order yet, or a new cyber threat. Whatever the day holds, with Comcast Business, you'll be prepared. With a network that can deliver gig speeds to the most businesses. Comcast Business Security Edge to help protect your connected devices, and a dedicated team available 24/7. Every day in business is a big day. We'll keep you ready for what's next. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Get started with a great offer for $35 each a month for 24 months for 2 years when you buy both. Want even more speed? Ask how to get up to 10 gigs for your small business. Call 1-800-501-6000 or go to ComcastBusiness.com today to find out more. Restrictions apply. New Comcast Business 35 megabits per second internet and one voice mobility customers only. Early termination fee applies. Requires EcoBill and AutoPay. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra and subject to change. Security Edge not included. Actual speeds vary.
Things seem to get more expensive as the years go by. Take groceries.
prices are up by 36%, and keeping up with your health, that's up too by 54%. But did you know at FPL what you pay for energy has gone down 10% over the last 15 years? And they're not cutting corners either. They're investing in energy that's not just the most reliable or the cleanest, but also the most affordable. See how we're keeping your bill lower than most states at fpl.com/value.
This is Drew Steele on 92.5 Fox News.
Daybreak 92.5 Fox News, 239-479-5592, the talk and text line. Streaming live, drewsteele.com is the website. Steele has 3 E's. We appreciate you watching, whether it's on your smartphone, smart device. It's always appreciated. And if you go to Facebook, we're there too at Drew Steele Radio. Oh boy, I got to play this audio from just a little while ago at Tom Elliott, the great Tom Elliott from Grabian put up from Brian Stelter and Oliver Darcy over the weekend at CNN. Hey, what about conservative media? When they report on Fauci's emails and critical race theory, why do we do it? Well, it's good that we have CNN to explain exactly why this is happening. You're gonna like this. I wonder if I should just I'll play it now. But before we get to that, coming up, if you would like to play along, Drew's College of Political Knowledge, 4 questions on politics. The more you get right, the higher the degree. We'll see if you earn a PhD. Have a little bit of fun coming up at 7:50. So what is that? 12 minutes away? Trying to do my math, man. I've been trying to do that all weekend. There were a couple of things that I had to do. And have you ever done this before? You try to do things quickly in your head to do some math that have to do with, I don't know, landscaping or something like that. In my case, Jake is already like, no, math in my head? Who does math in their head? Who does that kind of thing? That's ridiculous.
I have a supercomputer in my
It's exact. I'm going to get to that in just a second. So I may or may not have tried to do some math in my head this weekend for a landscaping project for my son to do. And I may or may not have incorrectly got the numbers where they're supposed to be, at which time I may or may not have spent a few extra dollars inadvertently due to this, whereas my son may have done a fantastic job on the landscaping at 12. He's a landscaping dude. And he may or may not have done it incorrectly. And I may or may not have said, this is incorrect, only to find out that it was my math in my head incorrectness that caused him to do it incorrectly, in which case he was right and I was wrong. Okay, I admitted it. It's on the radio. He was right and I was wrong at 12 years old. What? I'm not revisiting this. That's it. I've done it. But there is something to be said about the phone. I could have just grabbed the phone and just did. You know what I don't like about a couple of things. Number one, I don't want to show my son that you can do everything on your supercomputer in your pocket, because then he'll say, why do I need to learn how to spell the word? I'll just type it into my phone and it'll tell me exactly. I'll ask Alexa, how do you spell anti-disestablishmentarianism? All your Alexis devices are going crazy right now. Anyway. So I don't want to show him that, so I should probably get back to using it because it's better than my brain. But the one thing I don't like is, if you have an iPhone, you know this is true. Your calculator is not, the calculator on the phone is like an app. It's inside of an app. You know what I'm talking? Does anybody understand? 239-479-5592. Jake is looking like he doesn't know what I'm talking about, but you know exactly what I'm talking about because you have it. The calculator on your iPhone is inside of an app that's in an app, right? It's not by itself. The calculator doesn't sit out as an app by itself. It's not something you can conveniently go to. You have to find that app because there's 3 things in the app. It's the calculator. It's the 3 things you shouldn't be using at all. It's the calculator, it's a compass, and there's something else. Isn't it the memo taker? What is it? What are the three things, right? It's an
See,
app.
what I love about what you're explaining right now
Yeah.
is that iPhones have folders, and you have 3 different apps within a folder. See, if you took
No,
the
no,
app
no.
out of the folder,
No. I'm not talking about the folder. I'm talking about the app itself. Go on your phone right now. You'll see. Look, I'm doing it as we speak. If you go into the phone, right, it has what's it called? What's the app called?
it says utilities,
Why is your phone ringing? It says utilities,
which is a folder, Drew.
Right,
so
I know
you
it.
click it, and you see that it's a folder. So if you hold calculator, right, you can remove it from the folder, making it a singular app.
I love my son and I hate you. 239-479-5592 is the talk and text line. Moving on. Thought I was onto something. Just whole town now thinks I'm a moron. How did you not know that? How did I not? It looks like an app. If you click it. Okay. Brian Stelter is a moron. How about that? Let's quickly go to Brian Stelter being a moron. Here you go. Do you want to know why? Do you want to know why we talk about critical race theory and Fauci's emails and all of this? It's because we're the morons, not CNN's Brian Stelter or Oliver Darcy, because we just don't have anything to go on because all of our attacks against Joe Biden aren't sticking.
Saying arrest Fauci, that just shows how fair criticism goes to an unfair extreme place.
Totally. And it's one thing to criticize someone and have a debate that's fair. It's another thing to say, like you just played, he has blood on his hands. We should arrest him. We should prosecute him. We should throw him in jail and throw away the key. And that's sort of what you're seeing really saturate right-wing media these days. And
then you're really
dangerous.
in like a fantasy land because that's never going to happen. So it's like a fantasy. Is the bigger picture, Oliver, that when Biden attacks don't stick, when attacks against Biden don't stick, the Fox world finds new targets? Because you wrote in our newsletter.
I got to just stop. So we're just finding new targets. See, the conservative talk radio Fox News universe, which is so amazing that CNN is so obsessed now with Fox News. When Biden attacks don't stick, Fox finds new targets. So the reason why people are saying Fauci may have blood on his hands and are being angry about it is because of the emails that we witnessed and the things that we saw and what he knew and gain of function and everything that he lied about up on Capitol Hill. And the things that he talked about when he knew what was happening in the lab in Wuhan and gain of function and the research that's there and too much to investigate. There's too much to just assume that there's nothing to see here, move along, that if what we're hearing about and seeing in his own emails are true, then boy, somebody has to be held accountable, but he'll never be held accountable. And then critical race theory and how we go after it, and how we're concerned about critical race theory. Fundamentally, all you need to know is critical race theory is Marxism in our schools being taught to our kids. It's another way of doing it. It's replacing oppressed and oppressor, the rich and the poor, Marxism, the oppressor and oppressed with white and black, and using that as the way to get in to our kids to say that all whites are racist, you're racist at birth. And the only way to fix all of this is to completely dismantle this country, because if you were our founding fathers, you were right and you had slaves. And so by default, all of this has to be torn down and started all over again in the vision of, well, you can imagine what the vision looks like. And it's because the attacks on Joe Biden aren't sticking. Listen, we're not attacking Joe Biden.
We choose truth over facts.
We don't have to. He says things like that. It's not even attacks. It's concerns on many levels about the great reset that Joe Biden would like to see in place in this country. The redistribution of not only wealth, but of neighborhoods that we're about to talk about in just a second that are pretty striking and is pretty scary. When you hear about BlackRock and other institutional investors buying entire neighborhoods at huge premiums, you're wondering, why are they doing that? If they're buying them at huge premiums, they're not turning them over, they're using them as rental properties. Well, you would be surprised to find out that if you bought up huge neighborhoods in, I don't know, affluent communities and in communities that are middle-class communities, and you wanted to fundamentally change, I don't know, elections, you wanted to change neighborhoods, if you rented them out at non-premium prices, you could change neighborhoods, you could change demographics, you could change politics in those neighborhoods in ways you never dreamed possible, and I'll explain. But when you have Joe Biden on a world stage who is being shushed by the leader of the UK, Boris Johnson, don't let him speak when they're sitting at a round table. Literally, it's a round table. And they're introducing all the leaders, and Joe Biden forgets that Boris Johnson already introduced one of those leaders, and you can't see this on the radio, but physically put his hand out to Joe Biden as if to say, don't say anything, like, stop talking. Listen to this.
And just say how pleased I am to welcome those who have just joined us, bringing some pretty spectacular weather with them. Prime Minister Modi, President Ramaphosa, President Moon, in just a minute. And the President of South Africa. And the President of South Africa, as I said earlier. Oh, you did? I did not. I certainly did. But you get mentioned twice. So.
Yeah, and the President of South Africa, I introduced him. No, you didn't. Yes, I did. And holds his hands out as if and everybody's laughing at Joe Biden because he did introduce him, and Joe Biden said you didn't, and then he held his hand out to shush him. Again, on the world stage, we're seeing Joe Biden as 942 million people voted for him as president of the United States. Oh, there's no doubt. There's no election integrity issues. Well, maybe there's a little bit of news on that and election integrity issues and some of the audits of elections that are happening around the country and some of the things that we're finding out about it. I don't know if I'm allowed to say it, but I will next hour. Maybe some of the things that are happening. But there are pretty large issues that are happening with this president. It's not about the conservative media going on and reporting on Fauci's emails and critical race theory because we got to go after something. We need a boogeyman because all the attacks against Biden aren't sticking. Like, really, that's what CNN is saying. No. These are real issues that we're trying to tackle. We're trying to let the American people know. We're trying to communicate to them because you won't. But, man, I have to get to this other story about not only a redistribution of wealth, but changing entire neighborhoods right from under the middle class. And how somebody explained it perfectly as the news came up just the other day about investments, BlackRock and others, institutional investors in buying entire neighborhoods where there are home builders that are building in certain neighborhoods and they don't sell one single house, that these investors come in and buy these whole neighborhoods. Now, why would they do that? Is it because that at a premium price, this is the time to buy? You buy full neighborhoods at a premium price? Well, yeah, you do that because these are institutional investors. This is going to be part of people's portfolios. At premium prices, at prices that are through the roof, that is... Like, you think that housing prices are going to go even higher? That's what you're betting on and banking on? When you know full well that all the markets are now suggesting that with the prices where they are, that people are out. That we're starting to hear more and more about homes and cars that are not the future. The futures right now are showing that people are not looking forward to getting into the housing market. They're priced out, are not looking forward to buying new cars. They're getting priced out. So why would you do this? Unless it was something else. And there was a tweet that was out there that Zero Hedge talked about in this story about why neighborhoods would be bought up. And I'm looking at the time, and I can't tell you now, but what if I were to tell you that certain institutional investors are buying every single family house that they can find 20 to 50% above asking price? But the reason why they're doing it is not because it's a great investment in their portfolio. But what if it was part of the Great Reset to redistribute not only wealth, but to change middle-class neighborhoods and combine them several times over with rentals that would be available to different individuals that could fundamentally change neighborhoods, change demographics for the politics of it. Not for this noble idea that we could rent them out and get people into homes that they couldn't otherwise afford, and isn't this a wonderful idea? But there's something else to it, that they could change neighborhoods politically and change the political landscape. And that's really their motive. So we could talk about that coming up. All right, 239-479-5592. Call right now. It is Drew's College of Political Knowledge for questions on politics. The more you get right, the higher the degree. We'll see if you were in a PhD, if you'd like to play. We'll take caller number 5 right now. All right, on Daybreak 92.5, Fox News, right all along.
This is 92.5 Fox News. This is Drew Steele on 92.5 Fox News.
Hi, I'm Kyle Lee with Lee Auto Group. We want your car, truck, van, or SUV today. We are paying top dollar for clean vehicles. Before you sell or trade, call Lee Auto Group to get the most money for your car. Lee Auto Group, lee-cars.com. Don't forget the dash.
Lee Auto Group is looking for quality pre-owned vehicles. Let them make your buying or selling experience easy and safe. Contact Lee Auto Group at 239-288-7374 or visit lee-cars.com.
Don't forget the dash.
Look and feel your best with Dr. Patrick Flaherty, hosted by me, Gina Birch. Want to hear the latest from an expert? Tune in Saturday at 10 a.m. and hear all the latest innovations in non-surgical, surgical, and lifestyle ideas to help you look and feel your best. Dr. Patrick Flaherty is known for his faces, the fabulous Azul Spa, and now you get your hour with this doctor every Saturday at 10 a.m. Dr. Patrick Flaherty's show is Look and Feel Your Best, hosted by me, Gina Birch. Tune in this Saturday at 10 a.m. and hear how to look and feel your best.
She's been shopping for months to make sure that when she walks, people are always looking at her feet. Italian, classic, modern, she had to find the perfect look. And when her friends come and visit, their gaze always goes down to admire her floors.
Get your floors noticed. GC Flooring Boutique for indoor and outdoor living. View GC Flooring's extensive stone, mosaic, vinyl, wood, and tile. Your Legno Bastogne Gallery on JNC Boulevard. GCFlooringofNaples.com.
Goodbye, pest. I'll see you later. I called National Exterminators. For just $46, they get all rodents and bugs. 23946, no bug.
Call the boys and National Exterminators at 239-46-NO-BUG or visit them online at pestcontrolmadeeasy.com for all your pest control needs. Bugs, termites, rodents, and even attic insulation. Better service, better prices, and no contracts.
Goodbye, pest. I'll see you later. I called National Exterminators. For just $46, they get all rodents and bugs. 23946, no bug.
Call the boys and National Exterminators at 239-46-NO-BUG or visit them online at pestcontrolmadeeasy.com for all your pest control needs. Bugs, termites, rodents, and even attic insulation. Better service, better prices, and no contracts.
Drew's College of Political Knowledge is presented by France Eye Care. Better vision, better life.
Attention, class. It's time for Drew's College of Political Knowledge.
It's Drew's College.
All right, let's go to Ian. Ian's in Fort Myers. Hey, Ian.
Hey,
How you doing, Drew?
Hey, buddy, I'm doing well. How are you doing?
I'm doing great.
Yes, you are. All right, buddy, it's Drew's College of Political Knowledge. 4 questions on politics. The more you get right, the higher the degree. We'll see if you earn a PhD. Are you ready to go?
Sure.
All right, so here's your associate's degree question. Starts right now. Hey, you know who the governor of the state of Florida is right now? It's Governor DeSantis, right?
Yep.
Who was the governor before him?
Rick Scott.
That's right. All right, so you got an associate's. We'll see you get a bachelor's degree on this question. Hey, what was the name of the U.S. war between the North and the South?
The Civil War.
That is correct, sir. All right, you got a bachelor's. We'll see if you get a master's degree on this question. Ooh, this is a multiple choice. You ready? Who was the president during World War I? Was it Woodrow Wilson or FDR?
Woodrow Wilson.
That's correct.
FDR was president during World War II.
All right, Mr. Fancy Pants, hold on a second. Take it down a notch. All right, you got a master's degree. We'll see if you get a PhD on this question. In 1980, Ronald Reagan beat this incumbent president. Who was it?
Jimmy Carter?
Ah, yes, it was. Well, look at you, Ian. Congratulations. You got a PhD. You're the smartest person in the car right now on the phone. I don't care who's sitting around you. Who's sitting around you, by the way?
My father.
Okay, don't tell him I said that.
Unfortunately, you're on speaker.
Jake made me say it. I wasn't even Jake made me say it. I wasn't going to say it. I was going to say that everybody in that car is very, very intelligent, smart. Hey, where are you going, by the way? You heading off to some schooling, or where you going?
Oh, we're going to my dad's car dealership, Fort Myers, Arma.
All right. Well, have some fun there today, okay, buddy?
Okay, thank you.
This is Daybreak. 92.5 Fox News.
NCH Heart Institute is home to the most experienced and most dedicated team of physicians and nurses in Southwest Florida. Over the past 30 years, NCH Heart Institute has mastered the quality, the care, and the holistic patient experience that can only be found within a nationally ranked heart institute. Caring for a patient, mind, heart, and body. That's the cornerstone of our critical care team, which ranks in the top 2% of all hospitals in America. NCH Heart Institute, at the heart of what matters most.
Is foot pain making your life miserable? The Good Feet store specializes in foot pain relief. Call 552-FEET or visit us at the Good Feet store in Naples or our newest location in Fort Myers. Or stop in for a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
Searching everywhere for great prices on appliances? No, you're not, because you have better things to do. Besides, Good Deals has it for less, and they have plenty of items in stock despite shortages everywhere else. Remember, Good Deals guarantees the lowest price on everything they sell. Find a lower price anywhere and Jay will beat it, guaranteed. Visit one of the showrooms in Fort Myers, Naples, and Cape Coral, or shop online at gooddealsappliances.com.
Good Deals Appliances. Have we got a deal for you?
Got mold?
In your house?
What do I do now?
Call 239-936-1033.
Call Fire Service, your disaster response friends.
Really a good feeling to know that when it comes to your house and all the water that is in every faucet, every place in your home, that you don't have to worry about the water smelling like chlorine or messing up your shower glass, your faucets, right, with that hard water staining, the drying out of your skin and your hair. Just imagine what that would be like. You don't have to imagine it. You can just do it. You call the Uniform Pentair water specialist. They can find out what's going on with your water and handle your city or well water issues. Yours, right here in Southwest Florida. With their mobile showroom, you can see for yourself that Pentair has both high-performance salt systems and salt-free solutions, too. And salt-free means no lugging in bags of salt for you, and that they can install that Pentair water system for you as well. You're going to love the way your water tastes from every faucet and the peace of mind that only a Pentair water system can give you. So call now and get your free digital Pentair water test. Save 15% on your whole home water system by calling 239-880-7799. That's 239-880-7799, or book online at PelicanWestFL.com.
92.5 WFSX Estero. It's 8 o'clock on Southwest Florida's news and talk station, 92.5 Fox News.
When Secretary of State Antony Blinken tells Fox News Sunday,
if it continues to take reckless and aggressive actions directed at us or our allies and partners, the president's going to make clear that we'll respond forcefully, as we did in the case of election interference, the SolarWinds cyber hack.
Multiple elections have finally yielded change in Israel.
After more than 12 years, Israel now has a new prime minister.
Minister. Naftali Bennett will lead the Jewish state and also a newly formed coalition government. Outgoing Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu was visibly upset in his final moments in office.
Fox's Trey Yingst in Jerusalem. Another COVID vaccine may be coming in the fall. Novavax says its version is 90% effective against COVID-19 and protects against variants and has been shown safe in clinical trial. Novavax plans to ask for approval by late September. A race in the mud got very messy last night in El Paso County, Texas. One of the trucks racing crashed through a guardrail and into the crowd, injuring 8 spectators, 3 of them hospitalized in critical condition. America's listening to Fox News.
Wink News, traffic.
Good Monday morning. If you're heading out through Alico Road and Three Oaks Parkway, we have traffic signals in flash at that busy intersection, so be sure to treat that as a 4-way stop and just be extra cautious heading through that area just west of I-75. On Sanibel, we have a crash at Periwinkle Way and Palm Ridge Road, causing major slowdowns on Palm Ridge, so if you need to get through that area, take Tarpon Bay Road to Periwinkle Way instead. Otherwise, looking good along 75. 41, not seeing any delays until you get to North Fort Myers. We've got a crash, very minor though, at North Tamiami Trail and West North Shore Drive in North Fort Myers, but no roadblock there. And another crash in Lehigh at Homestead Road and Marble Brook Boulevard right near Veterans Park with some slight roadblock. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Therese O'Shea. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Good morning, Southwest Florida. Looking ahead to the rest of your Monday, we're going to be dodging those scattered showers and thunderstorms throughout the day. And when you factor in that extra cloud cover, high temperatures today are going to struggle to reach 90 degrees. I'm Wink News meteorologist Dylan Federico.
There's the left way, and then there's the right way. 92.5 Fox News.
Hi, this is Earl Ron, president of New South Window. New South is the Florida window factory. Our windows are made in Florida, for Florida homes, by Florida workers, because we understand Florida weather. With New South Windows, you don't have to sacrifice energy efficiency for storm protection. Our Energy Star rated windows and doors are made with impact and non-impact options, giving you the best of both worlds. New South Window, home of your ultimate Florida window.
Buy more, save more. Volume discounts up to 30%. Visit newsouthwindow.com.
This is Papa with Casey, Carrie, and Cody. And as most of you know, when Irma hit in September of 2017, thousands of people tried unsuccessfully to call a roofing company. But all the roofers were so overwhelmed they could not handle or even answer those calls. Now here we are, almost 2 years later, and many of those same people are still waiting to have their roofs repaired. So, we are implementing our proactive list. If you want to be on our list, call me for our free tolerance inspection. Once we inspect your roof, you will be on the proactive list. If or when the next storm hits, you will have no need to call any roofer because we will be calling you automatically to see if you need help. We can offer emergency repairs and tarp service or whatever your roof requires. Call Papa now for our free tolerance inspection, 945-2700. We believe it's wise to be proactive and it costs you nothing to join our list. Call Papa for our free tolerance inspection at 945-2700. That's 945-2700, area code 239-945-2700.
License number CCC 1326213.
You know what you want to do in retirement, but do you know how to get there? Tune in to Retire with Grace with Bob Grace, Saturday mornings at 8 and Sundays at noon to get the answers to your retirement planning questions. Plan today so you can do the things you've always dreamt about doing in retirement. Don't miss Retire with Grace, a Tri-Found company, Saturday mornings at 8 and Sundays at noon. Firm offers insurance services. Investment advisory services offered only by duly registered individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
Embrace paradise at the Boathouse on Naples Bay, overlooking the glistening waters as the yachts, dolphins, and clouds go by. You're invited to join them, either by car or tie your boat to one of the docks and experience the newly remodeled, expansive waterfront Lido deck. To make your experience even more enjoyable, the Boathouse on Naples Bay has installed the best cooling misters, fans, and state-of-the-art mosquito control systems. Visit boathouseonnaplesbay.com for more information.
Flag Day is coming up on Monday, June 14th, so how about a new flag? Hi, I'm Rachel Hawk from Harvey Englehart. Monday, June 14th from 9 to 1, Harvey Englehart in Fort Myers and Fuller Metz in Cape Coral is trading a brand new flag for every old worn flag turned in. So drive through and get ready to show off your new red, white, and blue.
Bring your old flag to Harvey Englehart or Fuller Metz Funeral Home and get a new flag on Flag Day, June 14th, helping families connect, honor, and remember.
from 92.5 Fox News.
It's the stuff Southwest Florida is talking about.
It's Daybreak. Now, here's the guy at the epicenter of what's important to those of us who live in Southwest Florida, Drew Steele.
Good morning, Southwest Florida. So glad you're joining us. 239-479-5592, the talk and text line. We stream live. DrewSteele.com is the website. Steele has 3 E's. We thank you for watching this program. If you want to go on to Facebook as well at Drew Steele Radio for the time being on this Flag Day. I have to tell you how encouraged I am when I see so many people with flags outside of their home. You know what I want to do? I want to get some bunting, too, around my house. I love that. So I just love seeing people proudly displaying flags. I see a lot of, in my neighborhood, people that have golf carts with flags, certainly flying them. And so a Flag Day today that we remember, and certainly what the flag represents, and to not forget that. And, you know, it's kind of fitting what I'm about to talk about because, you know, we sometimes don't want to push back against those who continue to disparage, who continue to talk down about the country, talk down and disparage the flag, those who fought and died for this country. As if this is some kind of, how do I explain? But we're supposed to be dismissive of them. We're supposed to be dismissive of those who love and care and cherish the flag, this country, what it stands for. And there are too many that try to defend those that do just that. And I'll give you a perfect example over the weekend. So last week, if you remember, we had House Democrats who decided to release a statement on a Wednesday last week condemning Representative Ilhan Omar. What would she do? That they would condemn her? Well, she decided to compare the United States and Israel to an Islamic terrorist organization. It was said, she made the comments, the United States and Israel imperfect, and like all democracies at times deserving of critique, but false equivalents give cover to terrorist groups. We urge Congresswoman Omar to clarify her words, placing the U.S. and Israel in the same category as Hamas and the Taliban. Equating the United States and Israel to Hamas and the Taliban is as offensive as it is misguided. Ignoring the differences between democracies governed by the rule of law and contemptible organizations that engage in terrorism at best discredits one's intended argument and at worst reflects deep-seated prejudice. Now, why did they put out this statement? Because you remember Omar wrote on Twitter earlier in the week, quote, "We must have the same level of accountability and justice for all victims of crimes against humanity. We have seen unthinkable atrocities committed by the United States, Hamas, Israel, Afghanistan, and the Taliban." You heard that right. And 12 Democrats condemned her for comparing the U.S. and Israel to terrorists. 12. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez said that Democrats mischaracterized her remarks during an interview with Dana Bash. Her comments equating the U.S. and Israel to terrorist organizations were absolutely mischaracterized, she talked about. And Ilhan Omar did some kind of walking back of those comments. But you don't make comments like that to start with, unless you honestly feel as if there is some truth to that, especially as a sitting congresswoman, right? So what does Nancy Pelosi think of all of this? Well, she had something to say about it as well when she was asked this weekend by Dana Bash.
I want to ask you about Congresswoman Ilhan Omar.
Yeah.
You and other top House Democrats released a pretty rare statement rebuking her for appearing to, quote, draw false equivalencies between the United States and Israel and terrorist organizations, Hamas
right.
and Taliban. She clarified, she said that she was in no way equating them. But since all of that happened, she and others don't seem to be letting this go. Rashida Tlaib, one of her close friends, member of your caucus, tweeted the following. Freedom of speech doesn't exist for Muslim women in Congress. The benefit of the doubt doesn't exist for Muslim women in Congress.
Okay, you know
House
what?
Democratic leadership should be ashamed.
Let me just say this.
Yeah.
We did not rebuke her. We acknowledged that she made a clarification. So before we go too far down the path.
Yeah, these aren't my words.
No, I
these
understand
are
that.
your caucus members' words.
No, that's a member.
Yeah.
That's a caucus.
A caucus member.
A caucus member.
Yeah. So I just wanted to get your response to that.
No, I'm not. I'm responding that the Congresswoman Omar is a valued member of our caucus. She asked her questions of the Secretary of State. Nobody criticized those about.
No, nobody criticized them. You didn't rebuke her. 12 House Democrats did, releasing that statement. But she's a valuable member. And how many times has she done this as a valuable member of the House Democrat caucus? How many times? I think you know the answer. The name doesn't come up often by Fox News and conservatives because there's nothing better to do we only do it because of some Islamophobia, you know how that works. And as Brian Stelter, and we played the audio before, it's because all the attacks on Joe Biden aren't sticking because everybody sees that he is so brilliant. And it's
all men and women created by you know the thing.
Bowl of doggy do.
But they continue to do what? To protect that point of view? But why? Okay, there has to come a time when personal responsibility comes in, even if you're trying to make excuses. Right? This idea that she said something and she shouldn't have said it. I should never have made that comment. There's a lot of that going on, isn't there? There's a lot of that going on with Democrats. There's a lot of that going on with liberals. There's a lot of that going on with politicians who make these comments, and I shouldn't have made those comments. Do you think at all, if you're going to tweet something, there's a moment where, and forgive me if I'm just being real, I don't know if this is just basic common sense way of thinking. It's in your head. It's not coming out of your mouth. You're getting ready to tweet this, and you're looking at your phone or your computer, wherever you're doing this at, and you put it out into words, and then you could actually look and examine what you're getting ready to send. There's plenty of opportunity to look and say, I may not want to say this. Unless really that is what's in your heart, and many people have questioned that. And even some things that were said in, what's in your heart or what you're thinking, like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, who is someone who is going to stand up because they're all part of the squad. That's what you do. And someone who is an expert on elections and election integrity. And
I'm not the expert.
I know. On with Data Bash over the weekend as well, talking about H.R. 1. We keep talking about H.R. 1. We keep talking about Democrats looking to fundamentally transform our election process and the Constitution as far as what we do at a state level versus at a national level in H.R. 1, which is going to give the opportunity to federalize elections. And you can imagine what that would mean for Democrats. It means everything for them, even though it's not going to pass, but it's still discussed. Isn't it interesting how Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez put it this weekend? H.R. 1, why it's important. Listen to this.
mistake. And especially if Senate Democrats are not going to pass reforms on H.R. 1, we cannot rely solely on a wish of winning elections.
What?
On a wish of winning elections.
We can't rely solely on a wish of winning elections? So is she admitting there that H.R. 1 is going to get rid of the wish of winning elections and guarantee it? I mean, is that what we're talking about? No. I'll let you answer that question. That's crazy. She wouldn't. She's an expert.
I'm not the expert.
No, you're an expert. Okay. 239-479-5592. I'm just putting that out there. But it's all on us. We're the crazy ones. The conservatives, Republicans, because, it's Republicans pounce. That's what we do. It's not about what they've done wrong. It's us talking about what they've done wrong, and then that's the pouncing part. All right, let's take a break. And when we come back, let's see some of the other things that are going on that I'm noticing. Man, there's a lot of news out there this morning. A little more on big tech censorship. Is that right? Some news on that. Also, Joe Biden, in case you didn't hear some of the audio from the G7, a little embarrassed. It's huge embarrassment, but we'll put that all aside. We'll get to it coming up. Stay break 92.5 Fox News, right all along with traffic. Is it Therese O'Shea? It is.
Good Monday morning. Keeping an eye on a crash right now. Heading out through Lehigh Acres at Homestead Road and Marble Brook Boulevard. That's right near Veterans Park, causing some slight slowdowns out there. On Sanibel, I've got a crash at Periwinkle Way and Palm Ridge Road right off Tarpon Bay, causing delays in both directions. And there's traffic being diverted at that intersection of Tarpon Bay and Periwinkle. Traffic being directed out there as well. Heading right now through Fort Myers, we've got a disabled vehicle at Valor Street and MLK Jr. Boulevard. No major slowdowns at the intersection. 75 and 41 all clear. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Therese O'Shea. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Good morning, Southwest Florida. Looking ahead to the rest of your Monday, we're going to be dodging those scattered showers and thunderstorms throughout the day. And when you factor in that extra cloud cover, high temperatures today are going to struggle to reach 90 degrees. I'm Wink News meteorologist Dylan Federico.
More delightful than driving a convertible Bentley while wearing mink underpants. 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
Hey, we've got my friend Dave Meister on the phone, of course, with the Floor Meisters, the family-owned Floor Meisters in Naples. And Dave, listen, I know you got a lot of things going on. You're selling a lot of cord tech. That's great, but you got this 8,000 square foot showroom with a selection of carpet that is absolutely unbelievable as well. And the prices right now are pretty amazing. So I hear you got this whole thing going on with Dreamweaver carpets.
Well, we have the Dreamweaver Select, which is this is $3.99 carpet pad and labor, but this has a lifetime warranty for pet stains, abrasive wear, and even for steps, a stair warranty. Nobody's ever had that before.
Listen, if you haven't been to the Floor Meisters, you really owe it to yourself to visit their store, 6281 Naples Boulevard, right next to Costco. Whether it's tile, laminate, hardwood, or, of course, carpet, they've got it all. So give them a call today, 239-596-4964, or on the web at floormeisters.com.
Collier County residents, are you prepared for hurricane season? Get ready by bringing hazardous waste to a recycling drop-off center. Hurricane season has arrived, and the Solid and Hazardous Waste Management Division is here to help you prepare. Protect your home, family, and the environment from dangerous hazardous waste. Bring items like paint, gasoline, and batteries to a recycling center for environmentally safe disposal. Be prepared by cleaning out your home, yard, and garage. Bring items like propane tanks, oil, and electronics to a recycling center near you. Visit one of Collier County's recycling centers located in Naples, Marco Island, North Collier, northeast of Immokalee, and at the landfill. Recycling centers are open Monday to Saturday from 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. While you can drop off most items for free, small fees may apply for certain items. For more information on our rates and material accepted, visit colliercountyfl.gov/recycles or call 252-7575. That's 252-7575. Be prepared for hurricane season by bringing your hazardous waste to a recycling center near you.
Hi, I'm Keith, the owner of Storm Shield Windows and Doors in North Fort Myers. And when it comes to hurricane windows and doors, you have two choices, Storm Shield and all the rest. Here's what our client Lauren had to say.
Our windows made a difference in terms of how our house looked. So it looked 30 years old with our old windows. And now that we have our new Storm Shield windows, they look totally different. Our coastal look is coming along. We definitely have other projects to do, but the look alone of these windows has definitely improved our house. We have more energy efficient windows than we had before. It's quiet, and we definitely know in the event of a storm that we're safe and secure.
Storm Shield's windows and doors reduce the exterior noise by up to 80%, and our clients typically see an average energy savings of 40%. Why choose Storm Shield? Because everyone deserves the best. Call us today at 239-491-7002 or visit stormshieldSWFL.com.
No matter what it's like outside, Trane makes it comfortable inside. You can get a great deal now on a new heating and cooling system at Trane. Visit TraneInfo.com. Visit TraneInfo.com to find your local dealer and more, because it's hard to stop a Trane.
This week at Rockstar Harley, buy any pre-owned Harley and get a $1,500 gift card. Finance specialists on site to get you approved. Get a $1,500 gift card with the purchase of any pre-owned Harley at Rockstar Harley now through Sunday. Purchase of a new Harley motorcycle.
This is Drew Steele on 92.5 Fox News.
All right, 239-479-5592 is the talk and text line, streaming live. DrewSteele.com is the website. Too fat to fly. Are you too fat to fly? Not my words. I'm reading this from the Federalist. The Federal Aviation Administration is demanding U.S. airlines submit plans with updated weight averages they'll use for passengers and baggage moving forward by Saturday. So is that this week? According to the Wall Street Journal, what are you folding your, I'm looking at Jake's face and he's like, According to the Wall Street Journal, quote, airline officials say the weight estimates used for passengers and baggage are going up between 5 and 10%. That's going to affect some flights, possibly requiring that more passengers get bumped or more baggage left behind. Wait, more baggage? It's like, your Uncle Earl, you got to stay behind, sorry. Yeah, it's a weight thing. What? Are they really? The new guidelines and likely travel disruptions to come with them are yet another symptom of the American weight gain with no signs of abatement. Have we done that, though? Have we made a society that I'm not saying that you shouldn't do anything like, all right, let's put it this way. Have we glorified I'm trying to be politically correct. Have we glorified the idea of excessive weight? I mean, unhealthy excessive weight. I'm not suggesting that, that Krispy Kreme or something was giving away free donuts, for getting your COVID shot or anything like that. It's like breaking news. A bombshell. Oh, it's a breaking news story. Yeah, actually, that did happen. Didn't it happen? Wasn't Krispy Kreme giving away get a shot, here's a donut, something like that? I guess.
You have states giving away millions of dollars, so.
Well, that's true. But millions of dollars don't put on the pounds. We're just not a very healthy society, right? We question why, we're always sick and we're constantly lots of doctor's visits and things like that. And, issues of COVID and the concerns about, people being overweight and, having certain conditions that could lead to problems when it comes to, when you get the vid and those issues. And yet as a society, we're not very healthy. And as a matter of fact, we kind of, I don't say we glorify those that are have a little extra weight on them.
Fat and sassy.
I'm not saying that, but there have been some, what? I'm just suggesting that as a society, we should concentrate on that. We should be a little more healthy, is what I'm saying. and that we should look at these things as, instead of kicking people off planes or not being able to take a bunch of baggage with you on your favorite trip, we should be concerned about our health. And as we've noticed with the vid, it's when you are healthier, it helps to combat and fight. And does that make sense? Did I spin my way out of
Fat and sassy.
Okay. Oh, look at the time. We got to take a break. All right, let's do that. When we come back, the top 5 audio clips of the day. It's the 5 at 8:35. I just want to be healthier. I'm going to be. That's my New Year's resolution. It's to be healthier. Hey, what month is it? Okay, we're getting there. We're getting there. All right. 2 in 5 Americans reported gaining weight throughout the lockdown, still in place at the time. An average of 14 pounds. We got to just work it off. All right.
This is Daybreak. 92.5 Fox News.
This is State Representative Spencer Roach, and today I want to share my thoughts on what it means to be a Republican. Republicans believe in limiting the power of government and expanding individual freedom. Democrats want to expand government because they believe that government bureaucrats know what's best for you and your family. The expansion of government into every sphere of our personal lives would disgust our founding fathers. From crushing taxes and gun control at the federal level to the tyranny of local governments with their mask mandates, revisionist history, and sexual indoctrination of our school children, government has truly gone wild. And I'm not going to sit back and take it. I'm going to fight back, and I hope you'll join me. This is Spencer Roach, and I'm proud to be a Republican because I believe that faith and family are the center of American life, not government. Thank you for listening. Stay tuned, stay engaged, and never forget that this is your government and we work for you. Sponsored by Friends of Spencer Roach, P.O. Box 3179, North Fort Myers, Florida, 33918.
Hey, it's Drew Steele. You know the real estate market's really hot right now, but for how long? Well, nobody really knows. I mean, if people don't catch up on their mortgage payments because of COVID, the market's going to get flooded with foreclosure inventory, and that's scary because your home's value could plummet. So if you thought about selling your home for a premium price, now's the time to do it. But you don't want to make any costly mistakes. That's why you need to get with Anthony Gomes from GomesMovesHomes.com. See, he's been buying, selling, brokering, and investing in real estate for over 20 years. Mistakes in real estate can cost you tens of thousands of dollars. Anthony wrote a book on how to sell homes, your home, and for the most money. And he wants to ship it to you for free. Just go to GomesMovesHomes.com and tell him where you want to send it. Inside, you'll gain 20 years of secrets from wealthy home sellers on how you can sell for a premium price without doing repairs, letting strangers go through your home, and you could pick the closing date. Go to GomesMovesHomes.com. Again, GomesMovesHomes.com.
We'll buy your car today on the spot and pay you $500 more than anyone else. It's the ultimate buyback event at Sutherland Nissan Fort Myers and Sutherland Nissan Cape Coral. 4 days only. Market conditions and a record month have caused a massive demand for your used vehicle, allowing Sutherland to pay more than ever for trade-ins. Up to 130% book value and $500 more than any other written offer. No purchase necessary. Sutherland Nissan will buy your car outright. You don't need to buy one of our cars. Bring your vehicle to Sutherland and get paid up to 130% value today. Hurry, this event ends 7 p.m. Sunday. It's the ultimate buyback event at Sutherland Nissan Fort Myers and Sutherland Nissan Cape Coral. Nobody in Florida pays you more for your old car than Sutherland. Sutherland Nissan Fort Myers and the all-new Sutherland Nissan Cape Coral, your used car megastore. Online at flnissan.com. If you don't shop Sutherland, you'll pay too much.
See dealer for details.
This is 92.5 Fox News.
Fox News, I'm Chris Foster. President Biden's at the NATO summit in Brussels, Belgium, and says the alliance has challenges to deal with together.
We have Russia that is not acting in a way that is consistent with what we had hoped, and as well as China.
He meets with Russian President Vladimir Putin in Switzerland Wednesday. Israel has a new prime minister.
The nation's parliament voted in favor of a new coalition government to be led by far-right leader Naftali Bennett. Outgoing Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu vows he will return to power.
Fox's Ashley Strohmeyer. Democrats in Congress want testimony about the seizure of personal data from Democrats, reporters, and the former top lawyer at the White House.
The Trump Justice Department subpoenaed information about accounts belonging to former White House counsel Don McGahn and his wife in 2018. Apple, which was recently released from a gag order, informed McGahn about the seizure.
Fox's Rachel Sutherland. America's listening to Fox News.
This update is presented by Stevie Tomato Sports Page in Fort Myers, Cape Coral, and Naples.
Wink News, traffic.
Good Monday morning. Keeping an eye on a crash right now. Heading out through Lehigh Acres at Homestead Road and Marble Brook Boulevard. That's right near Veterans Park, causing some slight slowdowns out there. On Sanibel, I've got a crash at Periwinkle Way and Palm Ridge Road right off Tarpon Bay, causing delays in both directions. And there's traffic being diverted at that intersection of Tarpon Bay and Periwinkle. Traffic being directed out there as well. Heading right now through Fort Myers, we've got a disabled vehicle at Fowler Street and MLK Jr. Boulevard. No major slowdowns at the intersection. 75 and 41 all clear. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Therese O'Shea. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Good morning, Southwest Florida. Looking ahead to the rest of your Monday, we're going to be dodging those scattered showers and thunderstorms throughout the day. And when you factor in that extra cloud cover, high temperatures today are going to struggle to reach 90 degrees. I'm Wink News meteorologist Dylan Federico.
Tougher than plastic, harder than wood. Nothing beats the power of steel. Drew Steel, weekday mornings at 6 on 92.5 Fox News.
Trust. It's the rock-solid foundation of Moran Wealth Management. Over 40 years ago, they began advising clients on ways to help meet their financial goals. 4 decades later, we've helped many reach their goals of providing for themselves, their families, and future generations. CEO Tom Moran has assembled an impressive team of professionals, each committed to the same core concept. Tom is recognized by Barron's as a Hall of Fame advisor. To be named a Hall of Fame advisor, the advisor has to have been ranked by Barron's consecutively for the last 10 years in any of their rankings. Let us earn your trust. Call 239-920-4440 or visit moranwm.com. Barron's rankings are based on data provided by thousands of advisors. Factors included in the rankings were assets under management, revenue produced for the firm, regulatory record, length of service, quality of practice, and client retention. Investment products and services are offered through Wells Fargo Advisors Financial Network, LLC, WFAFN, member SIPC. Moran Wealth Management is a separate entity from WFAFN.
Hi, it's Big Al from Stevie Tomatoes. They say love and passion makes the world go round. Love for home, family, your country, partner, a friend, and love for food. Stevie wants to be part of your love with our food, drink, sports, and fun. Our passion for your satisfaction brings our love to all of our great customers. Whether it's our brisket short rib burgers, Chicago pizza, fajitas, wings, fish fry, or ribs, it's delivered to your table with love. So at Stevie's, we invite you to share our love of great food, drinks, sports, and fun. You'll never get bored or broke. We feel loved by the sound of our great customers. We promise to treat you like family, at your home away from home. I guarantee it. For daily specials, go to StevieTomato.com. Stevie Tomatoes Sports Page, Cape Coral, Fort Myers, and Naples. Come, come, come.
Stevie Tomatoes Sports Page. Come for the food. Stay for the sports.
NCH Heart Institute is home to the most experienced and most dedicated team of physicians and nurses in Southwest Florida. Over the past 30 years, NCH Heart Institute has mastered the quality, the care, and the holistic patient experience that can only be found within a nationally ranked heart institute. Caring for patient, mind, heart, and body. That's the cornerstone of our critical care team, which ranks in the top 2% of all hospitals in America.
NCH Heart Institute, at the heart of what matters most.
Embrace paradise at the Boathouse on Naples Bay, overlooking the glistening waters as the yachts, dolphins, and clouds go by. You're invited to join them, either by car or tie your boat to one of the docks and experience the newly remodeled, expansive waterfront Lido deck. To make your experience even more enjoyable, the Boathouse on Naples Bay has installed the best cooling misters, fans, and state-of-the-art mosquito control systems. Visit boathouseonnaplesbay.com for more information.
People sometimes may wonder why they need a big law firm after their injury. Imagine you're on your way to work and then, bam, your whole life changes. You're injured, and now you have to fight for justice. Your opponent is not the driver of the car that hit you. it's their insurance company. When you're fighting to get what you deserve, it's go big or go home. When it comes to law, size matters. We're America's largest injury law firm, Morgan & Morgan. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
This is Drew Steele on 92.5 Fox News.
Two 239-479-5592, the talk and text line, streaming live. DrewSteele.com is the website. Steele has 3 E's. Thank you for watching. Time right now for the top 5 audio clips of the day. Here we go. It's the 5 at 8:35.
Drew's Top 5 at 8:35 is brought to you by Moran Wealth Management. Isn't it time to review your portfolio options? Go to moranwm.com.
Drew's 5 at 8:35.
Number 5.
President Ramaphosa, President Moon, who just committed. And the President of South Africa. And the President of South Africa, as I said earlier. Oh, you did? I certainly did. But you get mentioned twice, so.
All right, that really embarrassing moment where the President of the United States tries to let everybody know that Boris Yeltsin there, Boris Johnson, excuse me. Oh, man, woo, that was weird. Boris Johnson. The head of the UK at the G7 sitting around in a circle the table there, letting everybody know and introducing everybody individually. And the President of the United States says, you forgot the President of South Africa. He's like, no, I didn't. Yes, you did. No, I didn't. And everybody's laughing because he didn't. And Joe Biden kept insisting that he did. It's just moving on.
Number 4.
I didn't hear very much in the way of holding China accountable for their role in covering up the origins of the COVID-19 pandemic. I think that's absolutely essential that China be held accountable for their role.
That is the governor of the state of Florida, and Governor DeSantis commenting on the G7 and what was said and what wasn't said. And one of the things he was concerned about was, of course, the origins of the coronavirus and how that didn't come up. And also some of what's going on with oil and obviously here in the country and the canceling of the Keystone XL and Russia being able to have the Nord Stream 2 pipeline to their benefit, ours to the detriment of jobs and what we've been able to accomplish. But nothing to see here. We'll talk about how it's cool to be in the club again. Yeah, you'll hear about that in just a second.
Number 3.
And everything went black. And all I could feel was just muscle and skin all around me. Did I just get bit by a shark? Or no, it's not a shark. I'm in a whale's mouth. And then all of a sudden I saw light, white water everywhere. And all of a sudden I was thrown from his mouth. He was shaking his head, trying to eject me out of his mouth.
That is really strange. A 56-year-old lobster diver said he survived being swallowed by a humpback whale in Massachusetts, and then he spat him out. And he was explaining right there what happened. As people have been looking at this, and somebody witnessed it all happening, there was a marine mammal expert who was saying, they're gulp feeders. They slurp up as much as they can. They swallow it down. And he suspects that the whale was just trying to get fish, had no intention on turning him into breakfast. Says there's evidence suggesting, as a matter of fact, that humpbacks can be altruistic toward humans. That's why he went up and spat him out on the surface, because the whale was thinking, this is a person, and I swallowed him accidentally. Oh, boy, I got to get this guy to the surface and spit him out so that he'll be safe. Really?
Number 2.
I'm going to get in trouble with my staff. Yeah, go ahead, but I pretend that you didn't answer you.
Thank you very much, sir. You have often said repeatedly that America is back.
Yes.
At the same time, you've kept in place some Trump-era steel and aluminum sanctions. And I wanted to ask you, when you're having these conversations with European allies who are very concerned about these sanctions, how do you justify that? And what are your plans?
120 days. Give me a break. Need time.
Okay, well, there's Joe Biden there at the G7 asked about, you heard what he was asked about and the concerns about steel tariffs. You know, you still haven't taken away those evil Trump tariffs against these G7 nations. And he says 120 days. Give me a break. It's been 145 days, but who's counting? Certainly not Joe Biden, although maybe he is. He's just got his math wrong.
Number one.
And for all these issues, what we need is cooperation. And I think it's great to have the U.S. president part of the club and very willing to cooperate. And I think that what you demonstrate is that leadership is partnership. And we do appreciate, and I think we can deliver great things for that.
I think we can do a lot too. The United States, I've said before, we're back.
They're back. They're back in the club. That is France President Macron over the weekend with Joe Biden saying, hey, it's nice to have you back in the club. And Joe Biden says, great to be back in the club. What club? It's a
Drew's 5 at 8:35.
You know, the G7 club, the club that has talked about how they would like to have, along with the World Economic Forum, this great reset of getting rid of fossil fuels, you know, a green New Deal globally, about getting rid of capitalism, that capitalism is evil, and this is something that we should get rid of, and having the kind of cooperation that we need together, the best chance to instigate stakeholder capitalism. That's what they would like to see, a world that emerges from a crisis better, and it is all about, and not my words, their words, getting rid of capitalism as we know it, this great reset. Is that the club? Because I'm not sure that we all want to be in that club. That was the pushback that the former president was giving to them, making them a little uncomfortable about the idea. You don't do this to your friends. Well, our friends don't ask us to tax our citizens 15% globally, where who knows where the money is going to go. Well, I guess you could probably imagine where it's going to go. And then all these other things that we would give up our sovereignty to a G7 and to other nations globally to have them tell us what to do. And forgive me for being skeptical of what they might tell us, that we might not want to do it. But we don't want to be part of that club. But that's legitimate. And by the way, can I bring this up again? Joe Biden getting a little testy with a reporter asking too many questions, right?
And I wanted to ask you, when you're having these conversations with European allies who are very concerned about these sanctions, how do you justify that? And what are your plans?
120 days. Give me a break. Need time.
It's a little weird. Anybody think when they hear
give me a break. Need time.
It's very it's like Yoda's cousin, Guido, who's
need time. Give me a break.
He's got some slick back hair and a leather jacket.
Need time.
It's a little weird. I don't know. I could be off base. Maybe I'm wrong. But nothing to see here. Everything's fine. Also, that time when Joe Biden was trying to explain to everybody the what's going on in the Middle East and Syria, and he kept calling Syria Libya.
We could work together with Russia, for example, in Libya. We should be opening up the passes to be able to go through and provide food assistance and vital assistance to a population that's in real trouble. I think I'm going to try very much hard to.
Okay, well, so what's the big deal? It's just one slip up, right? And there he is negotiating, and even before he sits down with Putin, he probably shouldn't be doing that, but I mean, it's just one time, right?
It is. And by the way, there's places where I shouldn't be starting off and negotiating in public here, but let me say it this way.
Please, say it any way you want.
Russia has engaged in activities which we believe are contrary to international norms, but they have also bitten off some real problems they're going to have trouble chewing on. And for example, the rebuilding of Syria, of Libya, they're there.
He's done it twice, so Libya's got nothing to do with the conversation but he keeps bringing up Libya. Why does he keep doing that?
As long as they're there without the ability to bring about some order in the region, and you can't do that very well without providing for the basic economic needs of people. So I'm hopeful that we can find an accommodation where we can save the lives of people
in, for example,
Please don't say Libya.
In Libya?
That's 3 times. All he's got to do is look at the card. Just Syria, just have it in big, spell it all different kinds of ways so he understands. But that was 3 times. Instead of saying Syria, he said Libya. But nothing, it's okay. 642 million people voted for Joe Biden for president of the United States with confidence that he could handle the job. And he's got hairy legs.
Not a joke.
239-479-5592. What else do we have that we wanted to talk about before we go to our break? Here was a story that I didn't get a chance to get to this morning. This is fun. You know, if you are someone who has not been very big on the renaming of holidays, and they did this in New Jersey, you know, they're upset because they changed Columbus Day to Indigenous Peoples Day. And the community was, they were not happy with it. They were pretty upset. And they went to the school board, as many people have when they have problems with, for example, critical race theory and being, well, they're not teaching critical race theory in schools. You can't find a textbook that says critical race theory. Yeah, can you stop saying that? It's not going to say critical race theory. But if you're hearing the words social justice, if you're hearing the words equity, equality of outcomes, those kind of things, that is critical race theory. That's what it is. The suggestion that a person who's like, you know what, I don't want to work as hard as Bill Gates to make trillions of dollars. I'm kind of good just hanging out on the couch and having a job that I'm comfortable doing. That person doesn't deserve to take money from Bill Gates or anybody else that's making more money to make it more equitable because this is their choice. This is what they've decided to do. It's just frustrating when you have this debate about, you know, equality and how you're going to find it, and that there's this divide between the rich and the poor, and how there may be this number, as Jordan Peterson has talked about, this number that you might get to, you'll get to a point where that's as good as it gets. That's the number, the exact point to which there is going to be some kind of quote unquote equity, but it's never going to be what you desire it to be, because there'll always be that breaking point where you're going to be giving individuals something from others, where it is their choice that they are where they are as far as how far they want to go and how hard they want to work. And doesn't that make sense? Well, I mean, to the left, it doesn't. They don't see any of that. But anyway, so the Indigenous Peoples Day thing, the school board, they said, hey, we don't like this. So what did the school board do, Jake? What do you think the school board did when people were like, don't change Columbus Day to Indigenous Peoples Day? We don't like this. They said, all right, well, guess what? No more holidays. All gone. Can't have nice things. The school board wiped the names of every single holiday from the school calendar. So now every holiday is simply referred to as a day off. You know, like a long weekend. Yeah. So they really did that. It seems like a joke, but it's not. So what they said was, if you're mad at us changing Columbus Day to Indigenous Peoples Day, well, guess what? No more holidays. No Christmas, no Thanksgiving, Jewish holidays. It's all off. That's it. St. Patrick's Day, Halloween, gone, done. I'm worried that there are a lot of people that would look at that and go, that's probably a good idea. Let's just get rid of all. No, that's not what it is. Again, it's crazy. I was going to say it's fascinating, but it's not. It's crazy. It's crazy how you have a very small amount of individuals who have the loudest voices, who are amplified by the media, who's on their side, who get to have anything and everything that they want and get to define the terms. And you don't get to say squad, as the Italians like to say. You get nothing. Nothing that you can say about this. But you actually do. And again, I cannot thank you enough. And I said this on Friday, man, for those that are there and getting off the sidelines and in the game, you all are the best. And pushing back against all of this, whether it's the media, the legacy fake news media who's trying to make you believe that all of this stuff about critical race theory, it's all made up. Really? Because you say so? Because this is something that you want and you agree with, and somehow because you say it's true, because you bequeath us this value or this identity that this is what ends up. No, it doesn't work that way. Because it's not. It's real. It's legitimate. And when it comes to a lot of things, what months are going to be national, whatever fill in the blank month? Who decides that anyway? Who decides ultimately that somebody gets a whole month? I'm sure there's a lot of people with values, people of faith, people of virtue, who would love to have a month dedicated to values and virtues, and they don't get it because they say you can't have that. Who's they? Who decided all of this? And I know that there are people that you're going to, as you're listening to programs throughout the day, Glenn Beck coming up and others, you're going to hear about Bill Maher and what he said about wokeness and how there really is a lot of progress that has been made in this country, and stop making it sound like everything is bad. The left and the media and how they have gone after the country to a degree that people look and say, well, hold on a second. You're going to compare what's going on now with the issues that we have today with those from 100 years ago, 150 years. How do you possibly do that? How do you square that circle? You can't. Unless you shove it in people's faces enough to make them feel like you can't even push back on that notion. And he was saying that stop it. There comes a point where there's a lot of progress being made and you have to admit it. And if you keep pushing, look, he's doing it to protect the side. So don't make it sound like all of a sudden he's virtuous. It's just that he's trying to protect the point, to say that if you push too hard, that pendulum ultimately swings the other way. And that's where we're going. If you keep trying to make people believe something's there that's not. You can go, Jake. That ultimately that pushback's going to be real because it's deserved, because you've gone too far. And people have. All right. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you in the morning. Like I said, Glenn Beck is next. Let's find out how the remainder of the forecast is shaping up with Wink News meteorologist Dylan Federico.
Good morning, Southwest Florida. Looking ahead to the rest of your Monday.